Howdy doody, folks. Howdy farty here. How is everyone? Hopefully everybody is well. I don't know if I can have a bigger turnout because everybody seems to be occupied at the moment. As you all know, Ray Barbell and a few others gone over to the Timonian, and they're all gathered around, have cake and cookies and everything else over at Ray's place. So maybe, hopefully, if any of them guys there are listening in, you're more than welcome to join in very shortly. I'm going to say a quick hello to um, people that are here. G'day, Wigwag. How are you? James, nice to see you. And of course, you as well, Dwight. Nice to have you here. Sorry, mate, no cookies. The bakery's gone on strike again. Too much flour dust, apparently. Too much flour dust. How are you, Jeff? Nice to see you in here, buddy. Yeah, and all the other viewers are in the background there somewhere. Hello to you all as well. And
he wanted you to stick it where? 2 whole kilos?
Yeah, of
really?
course.
Oh, sorry.
I'm still going to.
Hi, everybody.
I've run out of rude jerky. I think I'm going to have to come over there and turn that little bugger into a kangaroo jerky. Saying all those.
Are you kidding? I'm writing this down. I'm writing a book.
Oh God! Oh God! It's not true. All the stories are false. Trust me. How are you, Anthony? I hope you're well.
I'm okay. Joyce and I just got back about an hour ago from visiting my friend up in Michigan in hospice, if that clues you in. Hoping to get up at least a couple more times before the end, but
you could stay up there, mate. You didn't have to turn up on my show.
I could use the laughs.
You're going to use the laughs. Yeah, well.
I mean, otherwise, it's been great. I talked Joyce into recording some music, and we just posted a video that Greg sang for us, although there were some issues with the audio file he sent us. I did my best to clean it up. He actually sings it really well, but I don't know why when I was loading it into my editing software, there were some issues with how the video file was compressed or whatever. I don't know. But anyhow.
Well, I'll explain to you why. He comes from Mexico. He's south of the border. And it's probably waterlogged because they're very waterlogged down there at the moment.
That's what it was.
Actually, yeah. In all seriousness, my thoughts going out to all the people down in that state, in Melbourne and Victoria at the moment. They've been hit very hard in the last 36 to 48 hours with a lot of heavy rain and flooding. I have not seen that much water down there in many parts of the town since 89, I think it was. Between 86 and 89. More like 89 when I used to drive the coaches and we had floodwaters down there. So my thoughts are out to all the viewers from Victoria, from that state. I know what you guys are going through. We've had hell of a deluge here since February. It's eased off the last couple of days.
Whoops.
Nice enough. He's got to put his handbrakes on. Yeah, so it's been. So I know what they're going through. my trip down to Melbourne end of this month, down to that state end of this month, is a question mark at this point in time, depending on what and how bad things are down there. Because apparently where I want to go up to, typical me, the areas where I want to go to usually gets mudslides and whatnot, and I believe there's a couple of dams down there that's in the risk of breaching. So we'll just wait. There's other things I can do up here as long as the weather holds up here. It's been beautiful. Sorry for cutting my stream short, my chat with you yesterday short. Yeah, people, if you want to see more of this, hit the thumbs up, or I'm going to have to send you guys the bill and put it through the Aussie Modelers Tour, which I'm still working on, actually. I should have a bit more information on that in the next couple of weeks, so I've already put my feelers out with that. Yeah, I've just been busy, and if you can just see in the background there, I managed to cut up some timber.
Indeed, that is different.
Yeah, and if you see, that's the next level. I've got a temporary post in here, and you wouldn't believe it, with the local steelworks just over the other side of the hill, you think I could find steel for an angle. I need to put an angle up behind the camera here as a cross brace to hold the support. Do you think I can find anything here in my area? Even with the steelworks out the other side of the hill? No hardware. No. Well, I did find something, but someone's gone and twisted it all out because I'm using steel angles that's used for shelving, and it's pretty strengthened. And what I want to do is, where you got this rail here, it's going to go across, and this cross member can come out. So I've got an open view here, and the length that I need to go, because behind the camera here, let me put the shaky cam on. You guys will get an idea where I have the problem. I've got the angle for that side. It hasn't been put in yet, but I've got the angle for that side. Hang on, let me go into the settings. Now, if you see here, I want to put a cross member from here to the other side to give it some extra support and to hold this in place, right? Now, I can't get this angle at the moment, this steel angle. None of the hardware still, they do have them, but they've got the short pieces. I need the long piece that will span against that gap there. So that's where my problem is. As you can see, I haven't put cross braces. I haven't put cross braces along here, like so, because I want to put a hidden staging area underneath here. But I want to work out where my turn-out motors are first, right? And at the back end there, you won't reach, but that's roughly where the station starts from, up the far end there, and it comes up and finishes up to here. It'll be a terminus one, but then I want to have hidden sidings underneath the layout here. And eventually all this timber here, I'm going to cut out an access point in the timber here where I can actually reach into the trains. So that's what I've been working on. It took me a while. I'm paying the price at the moment because I'm very sore. So yeah, I've been a busy boy. And I was trying to beat beat the weather. Because I did say that we're going to get some more rain. So yeah.
Now you're going to have to stand up to see all that up there, right?
Well, the way I am now, only what I'm constructing it, but it's eye level.
Okay. Right. Which is actually a very cool view.
Here. So whatever I've got up here is going to be eye level. Yeah, it's going to be a good view. The highest point going to be is, because what I'm doing is, because I've got a small space, I'm putting an elevated platform. Like I've got these stringers that I've got from Creepy. And it's given me an idea. It's got 2 tracks, so I can have a platform on either side.
Okay.
And it gives me 2 platforms. And underneath it, I can put another train underneath it. And I worked out roughly about 5 passenger tracks. And then closer to me, I can have the freight trains and a passenger service facility down on the bottom there. The trains will go up. Mountain scene is going to be around, but the trains can actually come from the station, loop around, can go underneath here into the staging.
Okay.
Randall's Run that I've got in the background there. Randall's Run that's in the background there is going to go above the computer screen here.
Okay.
Right. So we'll work on the train and whatnot. I can just put on that, and I've got nowhere to store it.
Right.
So I've got to find where I'm going to put on the layout. So at the moment, I've got to work on this and get this sorted out, and then once majority of the scenery is done, then I can start working on the big one behind me. Hey, Plumber, how are you, buddy? I'm going to put the connection on it. I'll put the link on in a minute. Just let me have a couple of more things. I went to see my surgeon this week on my hand, and apparently I'm going in for another surgery on the thumb.
Okay.
Simple one. He's just going to be doing an incision here, very similar to what he's done on my palm, up in this section here.
Right.
We don't know where it's going to be done. We don't know where it's going to be done before or after Christmas, because it looks like he's only got about another 4 slots left between now and Christmas. Plumber, there's plenty of people that you can use their device. Go and confiscate bricks or someone's.
Sorry, she was explaining how you hurt your thumb.
Do you want to tell everyone to be careful, because her tail's going to be used as a root, going to be turned into root stew.
Well, since you brought it up, she did say it involved the tail.
Right. Yeah. Grabbing onto her tail. Oops, I think I just got myself into trouble then. Yes, I'm trying to make up the most of my small space that I have here with the layout, because I'm not going to have much storage space. I mean, I can't store that back section anyway, so I'm going to have to utilize it in here somehow. It'll come together. And with the operation, I don't know whether I'm going to have the operation this year, because I still got to wait for the insurance approval for it. I haven't heard nothing back from it. If they get it done quick, I'll get it done before Christmas. If not, it's going to be after Christmas. Okay, I'm going to put the invite down there if any of the if anyone's crazy enough to come in and join us.
James has ordered 25 Rapido 3800 hoppers.
Oh, wow. Yeah, Thomas, how are you, buddy?
Now, so, did you get 28 class 3800 hoppers, or you got 3800 class 25 hoppers? That's a lot of train money there.
It is. I'm not going to even ask the price. I mean, I've got an idea. Joan went shopping. Obviously, his wife wasn't with him at the time.
So James, I take it that special brownie sale went really well for you to be able to afford all those hoppers.
Yeah, the brownies and the lemonade stand at the front. Yeah. It's all right, Plumber. It's all right. There's somebody else down there. Tell Ray to go and turn his if he's still at Ray's place, go and tell him to put his computer on and go crash over here, because I know you guys got me stuck on a pole over there of all places. At least I'm not on the back of the ute, I guess. Yeah, so yeah, things aren't too bad. I've actually got blue skies down here, Thomas. I mean, it's crazy. Even the rabbit didn't know what's going on. It's like, hey, there's this.
What's this yellow shiny thing?
Yeah, and what's that blue thing up in the sky? So, yeah. Now all I've got to do. The other problem I found is it annoys me so much. I bought some plywood. I'm using 7mm. Okay, it's thin. I'm using. I went down to Bunnings, which is our version of Home Depot, and I noticed changed the size of plywood. G'day, A and C. How are you, buddy?
I'm doing great.
Hey, James, Mr. Galton, how are you?
I'm doing good.
I bought that plywood, as you see up in my background there.
Hey, Eric, how are you?
Oh, his name's Eric, is it? Okay, g'day, Eric.
ANC Railroad, ANC Railroad, NCL and Life Journey. That's my fellow Buckeye Ohioan, Eric.
The Anthony Dodge, the hoppers are the
welcome
hoppers.
Welcome to my house.
Well, you don't want me to explain hopper cars. We'll just leave it at that.
Cylinder hoppers.
There's the boss.
The boss.
And treats.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
She just brought you a checking account to show you how much money you spent on model trains the last month.
This is dinner.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh.
I had that earlier.
Well, I had my breakfast. I mean, early lunch.
So, Artie, I noticed that you're in the States this weekend again.
Yeah, so I went to buy the plywood. Yeah, I made it.
Yeah,
I made it there somehow.
Around by
well,
the
my
neck.
face made it over there. The
right.
body did it, but the rest of me made it.
Yeah, I totally need a hat though.
It's all right. It's all right. I'm gonna have some fun at the moment with that. Yeah, I went to get some plywood, and they changed the sizes, the width sizes. If you see on the bottom here, from here to here, that's one size. So I actually had to trim it down on the background there. Now I bought the same plywood without thinking about measuring it, but they shortened it by about 4 inches, 5 inches. shorter. So it cannot go the full width of the layout that I've cut up. Because this here was the measurement of the old plywood that I can just buy off the shelf already pre-cut. Now I bought some more sheets to put up the top level here, and it's too narrow. So I'm going to have to go to my plywood supplier and
Hey, Rick.
Pre-cut some
Thomas.
4-length sheets to put up the top.
Yeah, I won't stay long.
Yeah.
But
so I'm going to get him to
what's
get
the cost for plywood in Australia?
Depends on what you want.
Paint grade
sheets are starting from about $28, $29 in my area.
We're paying, last time I checked the other day, it was $62 for paint grade, 1/2 inch. Which is probably about $45 American.
Yeah, no, we're not paying that much for that thickness. We're paying roughly, and that's a nice cut timber too. It's not that rough ply that you guys got.
Well, that's framing. That's fruit. That's framing plywood. And
it's coming down, but plywood is
the plywood that we've got.
And Baltic birch, I think it's 3 millimeter. It's $45 a sheet. And 2 years ago, I was paying $12 a sheet.
See this is a pre-cut sheet. If you see this type of plywood here, that's 7 mil, which is less than 1/4 of an inch.
Yes.
It's about 1/4 of an inch. Yeah.
A 4-feet sheet of that is roughly about $30 on average, $32 a sheet.
For that piece of plywood? That's expensive.
No, not for that piece. That type in a 4x8 sheet.
Oh, okay.
For a 4x8 sheet.
A 5x5.
But it's a nice plywood to work on. It's not
3 millimeter.
It's not like all that.
5x5, you said, James?
Yeah, 3 millimeter.
5x5.
Baltic birch.
I wonder if that's priced differently because it's 5x5, which is it
comes from it was produced in Russia, and because of the crap over there, it went through the roof, and they're not allowed to sell it technically.
Mm-hmm.
So it's coming from the Baltic states somewhere.
Well, a lot of this is pine.
Yes. Well, Baltic birch is very stable.
This plywood we've got is pine wood.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But
this comes from, majority of our plywood comes either up far north or over in WA where off the roads is. So all our plywood is actually made here, but if there is a shortage, it comes from New Zealand. We don't get it from north of the or north of the equator.
New area, my layout is approximately
our plywood.
Artie, my space for my new layout is approximately 21 feet by 13.
Well, yeah, so you still need a bit of plywood.
Yeah.
Like over here, I've got to say with timber, we apart from this a nice pine wood, this has gone up a little bit, but not too much in price.
Here it's very expensive.
Yeah, so we've been lucky because a lot of the stuff that we have, like our pine wood and that, is either locally produced and acquired, or if it's not acquired from here, it's acquired from New Zealand. That's where we get the bulk of our timber. G'day, Frank. How are you, buddy? Nice to see you here. So that's why the cost is reasonably. Oh, did we lose him? That's why our prices are reasonably stable. It's not cheap, but it's not expensive. It's affordable. If you put money aside on it, and you can plan for it. You can work an estimated cost on what your timber's going to cost. A lot of times I just go to the building sites, construction sites, and I'll go and get offcuts.
Yeah.
Because 9 times out of 10, they're taking that stuff to the tip anyway. So I just go around and scavenge around through the garbage pile and take stuff out of the garbage pile and bring it home to do my construction. But
yeah, I mean, basic plywood here where I live in Toledo it's still higher than it normally is, but it's, I think sheets that normally went for about $23 are now $26, $27. They're still more expensive, but they had gone way up during the height of the showstopper. But we have all 3 major U.S. chains in Toledo. We have Menards, Home Depot, and Lowe's. Those are the 3 big DIY shops and they all sell lumber. But they really don't sell the higher quality lumber. They sell your basic pines, and then they have some of the more expensive, better stuff, but limited supply. But it's basically your construction grade as opposed to your show grade. You want to go to the local lumber places for that. Like you won't get Baltic birch at any of those 3 places. If you want Baltic birch, you have to go to a local lumber yard, and then they import it, and then you pay more money for it.
Yeah. Well, like we can get the expensive plywood too, but I'm like, what am I going to get expensive plywood for when I'm going to be chopping it up on this anyway?
Right.
And
well, like when I made my grandson's crib a couple of years ago, I went with a higher quality wood because
that's different. Yeah.
I mean, I still built oak, but I got a really good, nice oak.
Yeah.
When I built his crib, because that's a piece of furniture, and I wanted it to, I want quality wood to show. Even though my daughter was going to paint it, I wound up doing more of a stain, a really thick stain on it, so that the wood grain would show through. It's like, honey, I'm making this out of really good wood. You do want to let some of the grain show through, let the beauty of the wood show. But she just wanted gray because she had a color scheme in her head. So I found a really dark gray stain that still allowed the wood grain to show.
Yeah.
Hey, it was my first crib. I did a pretty good job on it.
Yeah. Oh. And there's nothing like having, creating your own and enjoying your craftsmanship, basically. You can pretty much say enjoying your craftsmanship.
Well, fine woodworking is not my strongest skill. Construction woodworking, building frames, walling, very functional furniture I can do, but pretty furniture, I never worked at the trade long enough to really develop the fine tuning. But as I built some pieces of furniture for the house and for my daughter, like the crib, you start picking up little tricks and doing little bits that way.
The thing that I find the most annoying thing about construction, one, I struggle to get things done square. No matter how good a tool is and whatnot I get. I was surprised with someone. They actually managed to do it right with this one. But I like to pre-drill my holes just to stop the splitting, because with this part I need to pre-drill. G'day, Daryl. How are you, buddy? Nice to see you here. I'm still feeling very empty, Daryl. I'm still feeling very empty. I haven't been filled. So I'm a bit annoyed, but what can I do? But the thing that I find the most annoying is, like, I don't know if you've done mechanics as well. You always got that one particular item and tool that goes missing. Now, I broke a drill yesterday, and I had to change the drill. So what went missing on me? The drill chuck. It's gone missing. I'm going to, with my pay this week, I'm going to go up the road. I'm going to buy myself a drill that's chuckless, where that has a keyless chuck.
Right.
So I don't have that issue anymore, because I can't find it anywhere. It's like those 10 mil and 9/16 ring spanners that keep going walkabouts. Really annoying. But I managed to get it all up and going. I only had to redo 4 screws, so since I couldn't get the drill, I just used the Dremel just to start the pilot hole. Now, if I start the pilot hole, because the timber's, one, it's green, but if I don't do the pilot hole, when the screw goes in, it splits, and I don't want to do that. So, I think it's coming up pretty good. I'm still going to modify this timber here once I put the steel beam underneath. I'm still going to modify it up here by the computer, so Randall's run can actually slot in that, because Randall's run is going to go under here into the staging area. Then comes out basically up behind me here. I'm not having that go running to the station. I'm going to have that as a separate destination.
Gotcha.
So to speak, same as it is now, just a terminus. It's going to work out all right. I'll get that up and running and pre-wired. I'm not going to have trains running on. I'll give it a test, but I won't have trains running on there yet until the back section behind me is done. If the way things are looking, I don't think I'm going to have my surgery before Christmas. I want to get the tracks laid by Christmas.
Okay.
Once this is done, I'm doing some circuit boards, plug-in circuit boards, simple things for the wiring for the layout. So as I get the components, become available, I just plug everything in and it works, so to speak. So yeah, it's progress. It's progress.
Oh, that's quite a bit done, really.
Yeah. And
you've been talking about it and trying to figure it out, and now you've actually got framing up, and you're already talking about laying track. So that's more than just progress. That's a hell of a start.
The biggest hold up, apart from my surgery, the other big hold up is the weather. Okay, I've got some of you guys will know or seen what my backyard's like. I do have an awning in the back courtyard, but because of the way the rain's been falling, it's been blowing into it. So you can't take out your power tools, you can't cut up a timber and everything else when you're getting smashed by rain. So I had to wait for the weather to clear. So
good night, Eric.
Well, geez, that's an early night. Sorry to if we bored you, Eric.
No. Eric.
We'll make up for it.
Eric talks about it on his channel. Eric does dialysis. He has kidney failure.
Okay. Sorry.
And he had a big dialysis treatment this week, so he's been a little tired this week. Kidney problems are like there's a few YouTubers that have kidney issues, Redbird Tony and Eric, and I'm very sympathetic, and it's kind of one of my pet issues because I was born with one kidney, and I've lived in fear of kidney issues. So anybody that has kidney issues, I tend to be even more sympathetic than I am
Kevin,
to other things.
Man, we still haven't worked out what the problem was with mine.
Oh.
We still haven't worked out the problem. I think it could have been a stone. A stone or an infection or chill. I don't know what it was. I was, Frank. See, I can be at two places at once, thanks to Rick. It's a future of travel. Lightning speed. Yeah.
LSD has that effect.
Too. Yeah. And pigs fly too. Yeah. Well, actually, they were flying around here the last couple of days, but that's a different story. Hey, as I said to everybody, I will be at Timonian in some form. I didn't specify in which form I'm going to be there. I just said I was going to in some form. Same as Strasbourg. I made it there in some form. How else can we? I mean, you got to beat the system. You got to learn how to beat the system. That's the way I was able to beat the system. At least in that form, I didn't have to worry about passports. I didn't have to worry about visa waivers or anything like that.
No, even your picture got carded.
Yeah, it did. Yeah, I bet. Yeah. Now it's been put on in LA at LAX at Tom Brady's terminal. It's like, don't let this guy in.
Some people have wanted posters. You have an unwanted poster.
Yeah, he's an unwanted guest here. Don't let him in. It's coming. We're still testing that out, Frank. We're still working that out. There's a few little teething problems. There's like,
melting people. Yeah, that was a little glitch in the system. Melting people.
No, they teleport. They've been managed to have to teleport them up, but they haven't been able to teleport them down. They seem to get up and that's it. They get stuck and they never be seen again. So,
well, you do know what a teleporter actually does. You do know what a teleporter actually does. It completely breaks down your structure. It completely breaks down. It scans your atomic structure and then breaks it down and then recombines it in the other place. Literally, you are completely destroyed and then rebuilt. That's what a transporter in Star Trek does.
Yeah. Well, the problem will be with me is they'll probably lose the teleporter probably loses instructions on how to put.
That's why you can only do one person at a time. If you put two people in one teleporter, everything gets all messy.
Messes up. Yeah.
You get two-headed.
It sounds like a Liverpool hospital. Our Liverpool up right here. Yeah, it gets pretty messy up in there too. Very wild place.
Your Walmart hospital. Yeah, we got some spare parts back here.
Yep. Just go and pick it up.
What, you need a finger? We got a few of those.
Oh, yeah, we got anything you want.
We got a fresh one. We got a fresh one. Bob was building a bike and the wrench slipped. So we got a fresh finger for you.
Yeah.
Seriously, would anybody go to Walmart Medical? Would anybody go to Walmart Medical?
No. Nope. No. what was that one?
I mean, I don't even trust a pharmacy. I don't even trust a Walmart pharmacy. You go in the pharmacy, and I think the pharmacists at Walmart are experimenting. You got your prescription? Here it is. Oh, you better come back in an hour, man. I can't even read this mother right now. Hang on. Hey, we got any more of that Oxycontin?
Nah. Yeah, that's like some of the places here too.
Excuse me, Doc.
Thankfully, it hasn't gotten that bad as it is in the US. They were talking about having supermarkets going into the pharmacy business, and they knocked it over on the head straight away. They go, no.
Oh, no. No, Americans are drug addicts, so every place has pharmacy. Gas stations have pharmacies now. Our grocery stores have pharmacies. The Walmarts have pharmacies. The pharmacies have pharmacies. The pharmacies have grocery stores in them.
The only thing that you can get from a supermarket and gas stations, whatnot, is like what we call Panadol, which is basically fast pain medication, like it's paracetamol, like an aspirin. You know,
right.
Something that's not going to be fatal, basically.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you got a headache, you want to take a tablet just to get rid of that migraine from it, that you can buy off the shelf in the supermarket or gas station. But if you start going to other medication, more specialised, no. You've got to go into a pharmacy.
See, in Germany, anything, even an aspirin for your headache, you have to buy at a pharmacy, apotheke as they call it over there. Yeah. You cannot go into any kind of market and buy any kind of medicine. You can buy health and beauty aids, but if you want any kind of medicine, you want a Dramamine, you want something for a sinus, you want just something quick for a cold. Nope, you have to go to a pharmacy to buy it. You cannot buy any kind of medicine, including even your lowest scale aspirin, anywhere except by a pharmacist. And pharmacists are only pharmacies. That's what they are. And you have to be a doctor. So you're a doctor of pharmacy. And in Germany, if you don't feel well, you can walk into a pharmacy and tell them what's the matter.
Yes,
and they can diagnose it and sell you the medicine there rather than even going to the doctor first. You can walk in and tell a pharmacist. But in the US, no. In the US, you got to see a doctor and then the pharmacist gives you the meds. But in Germany, the pharmacist has to have a doctorate degree. You have a doctor of pharmacy.
Yeah. When I travel to the US, I usually just take my extra medication over here and just get them to stick a label on it so that they think I'm smuggling drugs over the border.
That's what we do. We take for all the pills, like Joyce has a lot of different things she has to take prescribed medicine for. And yeah, when we travel, we just load up we count the travel days and all the days will be gone. And we load up on what we've got to have. Including just the Tylenol or the aspirin or whatever else as well. When we used to take the students over to Germany, Joyce was a walking pharmacist. I mean, if somebody had stopped her and grabbed her bag, she had bottles of Tylenol, bottles of aspirin, bottles of Dramamine for the kids getting travel sick. She had everything just ready for the kids. Plus, we often carried their prescription medicine for them. So if one of our kids was diabetic and had to take their shots, we had that on us when the kids were with us so that we were there to have it immediately. Joyce and I had to do first aid and supervisory training.
See, the one thing I don't know what they're worth in over there, but I mean, the one thing I'll take is the Ventolin.
Joyce has a few of those.
And I'll take probably about 4 of them from over here. Yeah, but there's only one thing about that, Split Rock. She's licensed to carry. She's licensed to carry. I mean, we got to be jealous of her that she can actually do that and get away with it.
She's licensed to kill too, Thomas. So be careful.
Oh yeah. Look, you know, she's married to that guy, so you know that's the marriage license is a license to kill for a woman.
She's the woman with the golden gun.
Yeah. Yeah.
$1 million a hit. She hasn't done many hits lately.
Oh, right. Okay. Well, I got $1 million here. She can do a hit for me. Not that she can actually hit. No, not that she can actually cash $1 million, but yeah, it's worth a try. Joyce is a 008 secret agent. That's the one, Thomas. That's the one.
No, Joyce is agent 383034. No, I'm sorry.
No, that's her measurements. Get out of there.
Good night, folks.
It was nice knowing you, Anthony. Well, this will be our last podcast because Anthony's going to go disappearing in the next week.
Nope. She needs my income. Nope. I'm the safe one right now.
Anyway. Oh, you're the safe one? Yeah.
Yep, I'm worth more alive than dead right now.
Oh. Well, I suppose you are. I mean, you do have to cook a dinner.
Well, a lot of people like Joyce right now. Joyce is worth more dead than alive because she's got a nice life insurance policy on hers. For some reason, she allowed mine to lapse. And so right now, I have to go get a life insurance policy. We're getting quotes on it, but she allowed mine. So right now, I'm worth more alive than dead. So yeah, I'm safe.
So in some ways, you're worthless? Is that what you're trying to say?
No, I have great value. I'm worth more alive. Some people are worth more if they were to die. But
yeah. I don't think I'll be worth much. I haven't won lotto yet.
No, the time to worry is if you all of a sudden see me with a gigantic layout with 20 more trains and you go, "Where's Joyce?" And I say, she went to live with her sister. Then you should worry.
She hasn't got a sister.
Especially since all her sisters live. Well, no, one sister does live in Virginia.
Well, I suppose it's a nice part of the world, depending on north of Virginia or south of Virginia.
Northern. They're not far from the Maryland border. They're actually not far from D.C. either. Joyce's brother-in-law. This is Joyce's oldest sibling, and her husband. He just turned 70 yesterday, he owns he has a farm, just a small house on the top of a hill outside a little town called Sperryville. Joyce is watching Dateline and taking notes.
Right.
No, she's probably playing mahjong on her computer.
It's like me in the main living area. The rabbit's watching TV, and I hate some of the movies that she's watching. You don't want to have a look at, and it's murder mysteries and stuff like that. You know, and I'm working on the computer, but in the morning I come out to the kitchen. Here's this knife on the floor. And I'm thinking, I wonder what she was plotting during the night when I was sleeping. Yeah. And
well, she watches TV a lot, I understand, but I guess what's her name again? What's your rabbit's name again?
Pixie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But Pixie watches TV because she gets great reception. She's got those two big rabbit ears.
Yeah, that's why the Wi-Fi and everything else works a lot better at the front of the front room too, because of the bunny ears. Okay, let me show you guys.
You've got that reception
the little
going.
project that I've been working on. Yeah. So it's not quite finished yet, but my little switcher engine is slowly coming
along, yes.
Still got to get the decals on it.
Mm-hmm.
Some idiot forgot to cover the light, so I've got to clean that up. I'm going to find the decals tonight, and while we're watching the train series on TV, I'm going to start dressing it up and then putting the shell back on. So, yeah, she's looking from the side. She's almost going to look like one of the Locos engines from down here. I'm actually quite pleased to have this come up. So, yeah, hopefully I'm going to use that as a test engine.
Okay.
On during construction, so because all the other ones just got too much fine detail on them, and I don't want them damaged as such. They're just too expensive at the moment here, and I just want to look after them. Hey, how are you, buddy?
Hey, George, you're up late.
Yeah.
Did you get your other cars yet, George? Did you get your other coaches, your wagons that you were waiting for? See, George buys wagon. He kind of does what you and crap, I forget his name now. He customizes. He buys wagons and then repaints them and remodels them into wagons he wants. Sometimes, what do you call them? Not dream liveries, but what ifs, hypothetical liveries.
Yeah. Yeah.
Hey, Ian, nice to have you here.
Young Richard, yeah.
Richard.
What we do is more like you can't buy them, you got to create them.
Mm-hmm.
There's your base model. We got to kit bash it, to make.
Yeah, I do that with drugs. I can't buy them, so I make my own.
Oh, okay. All right. You got some good stuff? Got to try it out when I come to visit. But that's what we got to do. That's what we end up having to do. I do want to do another carriage up that I've now noticed because I was too old. But since my modelling skill is getting better compared to what I first done, I just spit drink on my floor. What did we do? What did we
spit his drink out? My job's done. I've done my job. I made somebody spit their drink out. I'm good.
Yeah, good. Yeah, that's all right.
Again.
Since my modelling skills got better, I would like to do another one of these carriages up. And the thing about this carriage was, when you look from it quickly on the outside, it's just a normal passenger car. But on one end, they actually converted into a mini guards compartment, or what the Americans call conductors. Gotcha. And the thing about that is, I used to ride and hide in there during the days when I was trying to catch a train to school. But then, of course, the trains never went to my school. But the train was going to Sydney. Mm-hmm. And I worked out a way how to lock those doors. So I had the compartment in that whole area to myself. And then I managed to be able to sneak from there into the engine, the back, because our engine's got a cab at each end. They got doors at each end. So you can actually stick into the engine, and nothing like the train driver going in the tunnel. He's blowing the horn. I'm at the back of the engine blowing a horn in the back. And they're like, how's the horn at the back blown? Because they stop the waterfall station and they go to the engine. It's like, there's no one in there. Yeah.
Now you say your
But that was
modeling
the type
skills
of fun
aren't.
that we used to. That's the type of.
Now you say your modeling
Yeah.
skills are improving.
Yeah, yeah.
So you're not falling off the catwalk anymore, or forgetting to put. Never mind.
No, it's Rick that wears high heels. Rick Bailey wears high heels, not me.
I didn't. Not all models wear high heels.
Some models don't wear anything either. So, but I'm not going there.
Depends on what they're modeling.
Well, exactly. Oh, that'd be interesting to see what will. Yeah, it's like I end up doing. I'll bring him out later on down the track sometime. It's like when Lima made the Indian Pacific carriages, they made the power van, but there's one carriage that they did not make. Yeah, I'm on the stick. Yep, that's my backup plan.
George, if you really want to have a laugh, he's on a stick right now.
Yeah. Oh, no, I'm not. Yeah.
Good night, folks. Artie, come back, Artie.
I'm back. Hey, Javier, how are you, buddy?
Hey, Chris.
Mum and son, how are you? Nice to meet you. We're just having a bit of fun here. Oh, yeah. That's the way we roll at the moment because of certain issues that happened in April. And no, Daryl. No, we're not gonna. I'm not gonna spin.
That cost
I'm
an
not
extra
a
$20.
ballerina. But since the issue I had in April, and we're still trying to deal with it now. I'm still don't know what the outcome is because Homeland Security never given me the outcome or email. I want to get to Strasbourg, so the only way I was able to show up in some form was on the picture on a stick. So that's where it all started from. But it's all right. Rick's Day is coming very soon. We have to beat the system.
Well, he gets terrible cases of the termites now and then, so his day's coming.
Yeah, but yeah, it's you'll see. I'm not going to let too much of the cat out of the bag, but I have something. I did receive a care package from him and John this week. So during the week, I will actually do a video mail call with the care package I got from Rick and John.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's going to be an interesting one. It's nice to get a care package from the US every now and then. Oh, no, mine came in a bigger box than that.
You're just more special.
Yeah, mine came. Oh, of course. As I said, it's a care package. Yeah, that's a nice mug, that. Yeah. But you'll see during the week.
The funny thing is he should have made them out of wood. That would have been hysterical. Did you get one today, Plumber?
Oh, that was nice of him, wasn't it, Plumber? But if Rick's in the background or John's in the background, they're probably hearing me saying, I've got the package. They're probably scratching their head at the moment. What's he up to? But you
We
guys
have Hales Heritage Railway.
What's that one?
That was my friend Chris, Hales Heritage Railway, the one who passed away back in July or August. Yeah. I mean, yeah, that was his. And then, but the rarest of all is this one.
That one.
Yeah, that's the rarest of all.
Who's that?
I think the only, I don't know either. It's some moron on YouTube thinks he's special. But yeah, you get, if you look carefully, see it's a circle of track, but then the inside track forms an O, and then there's an MT. So MTO.
Where?
So MTO, maniacally ticked off.
Yeah.
Or TMO, too much opium. You know.
I think it's more. I think it's that one. Too much opium, more than anything. Well, that's what you get for going to the chemist warehouse to buy meds, isn't it? You get the discount meds. It's all opium based.
Oh, I get the great discounts. I get what we call the 5-finger discount.
Oh, really?
Do you know the 5-finger discount?
Yeah, we got them here too.
Right.
Yeah.
You can't get a better discount than the 5-finger discount. Well, there's the 10-finger discount.
Yeah. But it doesn't work everywhere though, because you can lose that
pockets.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I've got some more mugs coming very shortly. I've got some new mugs coming out, which I'll be sending out to a few more people, because I just run out of them. I don't know where they all went. And I still got another parcel here that has to get out this week, because that particular person might thinking, he's never going to send me that stuff that he said he's got. It's sitting on the table so I don't forget, but someone comes around and has buried the parcel underneath a whole heap of junk, and I'm not talking about me. I have certain visitors that just keeps bringing stuff and puts it on top of the table. I'm
trying to think. I think one other person had bought the Model Train Outsider mug. Was it Randall's? No, Randall bought a T-shirt. One other person has bought a mug, but I forget who it was. Yeah, I mean, I'm rolling in the business. We've sold 6 T-shirts and 2 coffee mugs. We're doing amazing.
Oh, mate, you're making a fortune. You're making a killing.
Oh yeah. I got my first $60 check. Yep.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah. That
so
comes
that
out to about a week.
So the boys are what? 3 pieces of track? 2 pieces of track?
No. I can probably for $60 I can get 2 boxes. I can get 2 boxes of at least 2 boxes of 2 boxes of my C-Track for $60.
Christ, what can I buy for $60 here? Two.
Well, don't talk about that too much, because you still got the court case on the last time you decided to buy $60 something there. What was the name of that cop again?
Yeah, shit. That was a court case.
It was entrapment, officer. All right, take care, Plumber.
Yeah, have fun, Plumber. Behave yourself over there. Well, no, don't behave yourself. You've got to have fun over Ray's place. But Plumber is scary to me. He looks so much like my nephew down there in Spartanburg in Inman. He's almost a twin. But anyway, yeah, looks like they're all having a good time up there. It's a shame I could not make it, because there were really more to make the. Yeah, the place will never be the same again. Let's put it this way. I'll probably never get an invite again, but Yeah, it looks like they all had a lot of fun over there. I don't know if anyone's seen the live stream that Heath on just before my show, and they all looked like they were having a great time. Great lead up.
Starting your show is the first I've been on YouTube since I ended my live stream yesterday. Just after I ended my live stream, we did dinner, and then some stuff came up, and we had to get ready to travel. And then this morning, we got up early this morning and headed north about 2.5 hours and hung up there for a while and got back here just about half an hour before live stream started.
Yeah, well, after I got off your stream yesterday morning, I just thought I'd get out there and start get stuck in and get all the measurements and everything else done, and just, hey, Mystic, oh, he's made it. I was wondering where he got to. Because of the way my workbench is and everything else outside, I've got to pull everything up apart and unpack everything and take off the tarpaulin off it, and that takes about an hour. And then sort out the timbers that I've got, and thank God I got plenty of other bits and pieces there.
See, I've got a bunch of scrap wood I need to chop up and dispose of because it's not reusable for anything. It's stained. So it really can't be used for anything.
Only time I get rid of my lumber is when I finish with my job.
Oh yeah, well, I always have spare lumber, like anybody. I have tons of parts of 2x4s and 4x4s, and leftover pieces of sheet because you never know when you're going to need it. But like I had built a bed for Joyce and me years ago, a beautiful little frame bit, but we got a new bed and it doesn't work with the frame, so I had to tear the frame apart, and it really can't be reused for anything. And trust me, I've been looking around like, what could I reuse this for? Because I hate to throw anything away. But when that happens, when you have something that needs, I just take it out to my table saw and just rip it all down into small chunks and dispose of it.
Yeah. There is one way I do get plenty of free wood. I mean, this type of wood, not any other type of wood that some other people think, this type of wood, is when people throw out their beds and bed frames, and they've got the slats on the beds. That makes beautiful lumber.
Yeah.
You go up the shop, you're going up to the hardware store. Like we've got Bunnings, which is like your Home Depot, and Mitre 10 will be like your Lowe's or Dan Gray version. Those are two main hardware stores here. You're paying a fortune for it, but I know some parts in the US you usually put your rubbish outside for the county to come and collect it, like your bulk rubbish, junk. People are throwing beds and bed frames out, and I just go along and go, yeah, that will do me fine. Instead of going out buying it, paying for it.
Hello, everybody. Hey, Anthony.
Man, I want to hide that key.
Hey, Artie.
G'day, mate. How are you?
I'm good.
Hey, Randall's here. Hey, Randall, how are you?
Yeah. But one thing that did come.
Hey, Randall. We actually got some rain here today.
With his trains.
Did you? Good.
Yeah, it's not 100 plus degrees in my garage.
You get held up by. No, Thomas, no, because where we get our plywood is not made out of gum tree, it's made out of pine. And I don't know where the bastard is at the moment. It must have slipped in again. But a lot of our ply comes from West Australia, which is on the other side of the country, because that's where they got the ply mill and where they actually make the plywood there, or up in Queensland. No, you don't get a free koala. But one thing they actually kept.
No, you have to pay $2.99 extra.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that brings the price with. Yeah, gumwood tree. Gum trees. You take the wood out of it. We've just called it gum trees here anyway. They're actually quite easy to make. Yeah, the gum tree, Martin, is a eucalyptus tree. It is eucalyptus. The eucalyptus actually comes out of the leaves. That basic steaming down, you get the oils and the impurities and whatnot out of the actual leaves itself. And it can make it go high, especially when it's green and burning. I mean, you don't need all that other funny stuff that certain people take and whatnot. It can get you up high. I mean, you have a look at the koalas. The reason why they sleep half the time is because they're high in eucalyptus. Yeah, and when they go through withdrawals, that's when they get dangerous. That's when they become drop bears, especially with terrorists from other countries that don't know, they're not aware of their habits. But one person that I was thinking about last night, I mean, when I do woodwork, it's sort of like or any work, you usually get some memories come back and whatnot. There's one person I do miss having, and I wished I had him with me now while doing this work. That's my grandfather. He was a wood craftsman. He put things like this together, and the things that he was able to do, without nails.
Okay. Hey, Artie, are you working on your layout?
Yeah, I have started.
Built a whole new level right there.
As you see,
is that what I see over there?
Framework for the top levels up.
Right on.
That's the top level.
Cool.
Yeah, Artie is now bi-level.
You know?
Anthony. Okay.
I'm going to retry this battle of words.
Well, it was interesting because he had been debating for years. Did he want to try a second level or not? And so we called him bi-curious. And then he finally went. So now he's bi-level. So
now you are going to add a way to get up there as far as via helix.
Oh no, forget about the helix. No helix.
You're going to do a helix or no?
No
helix.
No helix. No.
Oh, okay.
I'm not going to do a helix. Behind me here, it's going to come up in the 2, maybe 3 level, so I'm going to be tri-level. I'm going to have it climb up a mountain and disappear and comes up to the next level. In a series of tunnel.
I've built quite a few helix.
Share it.
Yeah, I built quite a few helix in my railroading time, and I will never do it again. Not that they didn't work. They're just, if you want to run trains, they've got to be pretty massive if you're going to run. I like running long consists. So, like kind of like what Sparky's got. I mean, that's like a perfect helix. It's got a straightness to it.
If I had the space, I probably would do something like that, and maybe.
Yeah, Sparky's got it down with a helix. That's the way a helix should be done.
Mm-hmm.
There was a chap. I can't remember whose channel it was that I seen. He actually done a
split rock.
Yeah, well, our trains do run the opposite way. There was
I did a helix. Well, I did 2 helixes. I had a double helix, but it came to life, and we had to put a stop to
that. Yeah, I hear you, Thomas. I hear you. Absolutely hear you, brother.
The way there was one chap that's done like a helix concept, but he's actually had it stepped out.
Yeah.
Or stepped in. Starts going
Yeah.
wide and the train works up. And you can actually see the train climb up the mountain.
Yeah.
And
there's actually a
the
YouTuber
helix
in.
is good, but
There's actually a YouTuber in.
I think it's Canadian. I can't remember.
In Australia, everywhere you look, he's got helixes everywhere on his layout. And I'm trying to think of the guy who it is, but it'll
there
come
was
to me.
one guy. There was one guy. Trackside scenery. He did have something like that. I missed you out there. Yes, your helix. You're gonna have your helix. Is that your helix, Govia? Is yours the one that's exposed? I can't remember whose it was.
Ian, when I first thought of building the current iteration of my train table here, one idea was to have a helix that led to a parking area. I was going to have a parking area, staging area underneath the two tables here, and then whatever trains I wanted to run just could come up through the helix and come up here. But for the size of trains I was running, a helix would have just been so big.
Yeah.
And it would have taken, if I started on the floor, I still would have had to raise these tables up higher and everything else. And we needed the area underneath these tables for storage. We've got all kinds of little buckets and everything here because to build this layout, I took out a couple of closets.
Yeah.
So this
Now,
layout
Chris,
came out of the closet.
Yeah. Now, Chris from Go Via Go Home, his helix is nice because he's got an open helix, and it makes it nice just in case, you get, sometimes a train derailment because it's like a domino effect on a helix. Once one leash unleashes, the other ones seem to go with it. So with at least Chris's helix, I mean, he can get to everything pretty simple. There's nothing in the way.
Right.
That's a really good build as well.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, there's a comment here that I'm thinking of going with a switchback instead of a helix. Now, Wigwag, if you go into my playlist, you'll see a videos there. I'll fix it up, find it. But going up my mountain up in here, it was a 3.something% grade going up the top. But because where the line was going up in the mountain, they had very limited real estate to put in a passing loop. So what they actually did was they actually had a passing loop that was actually made up into a zigzag system. But the through train could still go through. I'll find the link. I'll find the link. I'll pull it up. But I want to see my trains run, and if I put a helix in here, one, I haven't got the space. I haven't got that much real estate here in the speed group. But if I have the helix, the trains are going to be disappeared. I'm never going to see them going through scenery. So I had to come up with a concept of what's one thing that trains do, and that's climb up and down mountains. So I'm doing a mountain scene up behind me here. So the train is actually climbing up into the mountains. Yes, it is going to go through tunnels. And it's going to go in another tunnel that's going to take it to the top level. You'll see how I'll do it. I mean, I have done a slight sketch, but a lot of it's up in here. But you will see how I achieved it. I have done it.
Oh, it could get dusty up in there.
Yeah, it does get very dusty up in there. Yeah, it is very dusty. There's a lot of sawdust there at the moment. I'll just find that that video of that track.
Stick your ear over here.
Okay, relax. My dog just heard a vacuum cleaner and he's going nuts. Go.
I can't even do that when my grandson's here. If I turn on any vacuum cleaner, he freaks out and runs. He hates vacuum cleaners.
Yeah, no, my dog hates them too. He's looking around for the vacuum cleaner. He wants to destroy it. Go. Oh yeah, he's all excited. Okay, so it's just like my bottom level here, my staging yard. It took about 46 feet of track to get to the upper level. That's a lot of but you know, I could have done it in a helix in the middle, but I chose not to. Been there, done that.
So was that a 2% grade?
It's about a 2% grade.
I was gonna say, because a 2% grade is usually about 48 feet to go up a standard level height. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. And you know, it worked out really well. But that, like I said, is a lot of real estate. That's a lot of track.
Oh,
you know. The only thing I wish is, of course, we all wish, is on the other end that I had a balloon, you know, a roundabout where I can bring the trains in, and a balloon loop, and bring the trains in and go back into staging. But I would need another 15, 16 feet for that, and I just don't have that kind of room. So when the trains come off the with the top level and they're going around the center table, they're actually backing up into staging. So my track work has to be perfect, because we all know, in order to understand if your track work is good, you back up a train at a pretty good speed. That'll tell you if your track is pretty good. So far it's, you know, it's worked out really well. So, you know.
But so the way I'm doing my layout, like, you'll be able to run from, you can say, from the bottom level, which is 1 point, to the top level, which is 1 point. So it's basically point to point. However, in the main section I've got here, the very bottom level is going to be hidden, and it's going to have a reverse loop or balloon loop. And as it climbs up to the top, up to behind me here, it's going to have another track that's going to be able to go back down again. So I'm going to have one train going continuously up and down the mountain, while I can drive one train from here to here.
So like NS Modeler 24, Josh's layout, he makes a big long mountain run. I mean, he takes that from the bottom level and it goes up a high distance. I mean, he takes it all through mountains, a little snow scene. I mean, it's quite amazing without doing that helix. But what I'm telling you, it takes a lot of real estate. It takes a lot of real estate to do that, but it looks really good.
Unfortunately, with me, I'm going to be having the maximum size curves I can go is 24.5 inch. Which
that's okay. That's decent.
It's not going to be a high speed line.
Yeah.
And the smallest I'm going down to on the main line is going to be 20 inch.
Why is that, George? George, everybody on this channel is an odd man.
Especially this guy here. He's the oddest one out. Who was it was it Mystic that was talking about zigzag layout?
Yeah.
Have a look at your own time. Have a look at your own time, that video clip that I sent you. That's how the railway line used to look up the top here. And where you see the signal box coming down the mountain.
Hey, Randall, you back?
That's where they actually had the zigzag interchange. And I do want to create that. I don't have the space here. But really
either Randall is not back or Sheep has taken his place.
He keeps going in and out. Randall, you must be home.
Yeah, I think he is.
Yeah.
Yep, he's home.
He's talking into his coffee can again.
Do I miss
Yeah.
do I miss my beard? Kind of I do actually. I kind of do. I'm thinking about maybe growing it back out again, but I don't know. My wife wants me to grow it back out, but it just gets in the way. Well, it just gets in the way of everything. So, but I do miss it.
Yeah, that's what I've been. That's what I've been. That's why
Yeah.
I've kept mine short a little bit too at the moment because
Yeah.
it just seems to be getting in the way. So I've got to try to look a little bit presentable with the places I've been going recently, and they sort of like look at you different when you got a big beard, especially when it gets down to here. I probably will eventually grow it back, but at the moment I've got too many important things.
Yeah,
to
my
deal
wife,
with,
she
and
tells me she misses me looking
I
like
don't
an
know.
inmate. That's why she wanted me to go. She likes the inmate look. Okay. It's what she called me, the inmate. Okay.
That's all right. The night Joyce met me almost 40 years ago, she wrote in her journal, I looked like an axe murderer. That was her description. I looked nice guy, but looks like an axe murderer.
You haven't told
Exactly.
You haven't told her yet, then, have you?
Of course not.
Yeah.
I just tell her I used to be a lumberjack.
When are you going to tell her? Oh, okay. Yeah. So you're the one that saved Little Red Riding Hood, is it? They got the
Well, I don't know if it was Little Red Riding Hood. That's just how she was dressed. It was one hell of an outfit.
When did you have problems? Okay, just bear with me for a minute.
The problem is I found out why they called her Little Red.
Why did you seen all the you seen all the burial plots? Did you?
No, totally different.
Give me 2 minutes. I'll be back in a minute, guys.
Yeah, that's fine.
I'll be back in 2 minutes.
Okay.
All right, you're on the clock.
Yep.
Randall, what are we going to do with you, Randall?
Hey, Randall.
There?
I am now.
We are now going live to Randall, who is inside a coffee can. Randall, you're breaking up, man. It's all tinny and completely broken up. I hate to keep harassing you there, but basically you sound like R2-D2. Well, we'll just leave it at that.
Let's see. Mystic says, when I asked my wifey's number the first time back in the day, she considered giving me a fake number.
She considered.
Could you sing something with that auto-tune?
No, I was too scared. The night we met, I was too scared to ask Joyce for her phone number. She gave it to me.
Really?
Yep. We were a double blind date. Neither one of us was supposed to be on that date. I was subbing for somebody, and then at the last second, that person canceled out, and Joyce was the last second sub. And we just kind of were deer in the headlights that first date. But we went to we were double dating with another couple, and it was a very expensive restaurant. Joyce and I do not belong in expensive restaurants. And basically, we realized at that moment that we were both subversive comedians and we're embarrassing and enjoying embarrassing the other couple. It all started with a goofy waiter named Robert. See, if people don't realize, at very exclusive, fancy restaurants, because this was like Joyce's Christmas prom or something like that. She was a senior in high school. I was a freshman in college. And but they give you a time limit to eat some of the courses. So like there's a time limit with the salad. We didn't know that. So they serve the salad, and 20 minutes later, 50 minutes later, they come back and they collect it, whether you're done or not. We didn't know that. Joyce is still working on her salad, and Robert comes and grabs the plate. And Joyce is like, excuse me, I'm not done yet. And he looks very offended at her. And he grabs the plate right back out of her hands. And Joyce is like, I'm not done with that. And he goes to grab it. He goes, excuse me, sir, she's not done with that. And he says, I must collect the salad. And Joyce and I don't know anything about this crap. And she's 17 and I'm 19. And yeah, he goes to take the plate like a fourth time. And I said, excuse me, Robert, the lady is not done. And he just goes, that's Robert. And he stomped off. And you could see the couple we were with. And they're just glaring at us like, you're embarrassing us. We chose this restaurant to be seen, and you're embarrassing us. And Joyce and I just said, oh, we're just getting started. But that was where we kicked it off. We realized we both were very subversive, funny, and we went to her dance and after the dinner, and we seemed to like each other. And all the way home, I'm saying, you had a good time. Ask her for a phone number. You had a good time. Ask her for a phone number. And I was old for high school, so I chickened out. I couldn't ask for her. We're pulling up into the driveway, and she's like, hey, I had a good time here. And she grabs the pen and grabs my hand, and I'm like, what the hell are you doing? And I'm giving you my number. Well, don't write it on my hand. They'll be all sweaty and I'll forget it, you know. So she tears off a little paper and writes the phone number down on the paper. And that's how it's been, right?
Hey, Anthony, Mystic says, hey, question. Did you talk about trains on your first date?
No, I wasn't into trains then.
Yeah.
Nor did we talk about train, but we were good kids back then.
Yeah.
No, I mean, what did we talk about? Sports, and because she's a jock, she's an athlete, former all-city basketball player. We talk sports and music, and I don't know, what else did we talk about? We talked about each other. I talked about me, and she talked about me.
Well, I met two wives at a gas station. Yeah, but they were high class gas stations. They were Chevrons, not AM PM.
Oh, okay.
So, that makes a difference.
I see.
So. And
I don't know. She's the one. She was the first girl that said yes to a date, so I kept her. And once she agreed to stay with me, I let her out of the basement, and we've been together ever since.
Yeah. Dwight says I met my first wife at church.
Oh, I hear that's a great pickup place.
Oh yeah.
I don't know. I didn't have a lot of time. My days in high school, I went to a Jesuit high school, and I had a job to pay my way through the Jesuit high school, and it was school, work, 5 hours, 6 hours of sleep, school, work, homework, 5 hours of sleep, get up in the morning, lather, rinse, repeat. And the couple of girls, it was an all-boy high school, so that made it impossible to meet girls. And the girls in my neighborhood, I was too much of a nerd to, you were either in the gangs or you were me. And I wasn't in the gangs. So that made you uncool with any of the girls in my neighborhood. You had to be one of the made guys or something like that. I was too much of a goody two-shoes. You were 18 and she was 16 when you got married. Wow. And we thought we were young.
Yeah. Well,
we were 22 and 21 when we got married.
Yeah. Back then, I don't think they had cell phones, let alone pagers.
No.
God, I don't know how many people remember pagers. Wow.
Payphone, because I was out of town. I was in town because I just left West Point and I had transferred to a different university, and I was just in the town for the weekend and got invited to do this date. And so about week and a half is Christmas break. We had started dating, and then I left town again, and it was letters and quarters and quarters and quarters in a payphone. That's something young kids won't understand today. Just pop, 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 and talking for 10 minutes, and the operator comes on. Please deposit another 6 quarters if you wish to stay on another 15 minutes. Clunk, 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 clunk. Oh, went through a lot of quarters. Artie, you're back. Actually, it's your front, but your front is back.
That's like me going through 20 cent pieces and 50 cent pieces. When I was ringing up my lady friend in Merrylands in Baltimore, I'm back. The payphones that had the money box missing on the bottom. Phone calls with 20 cent pieces, and what happened was there's a trigger underneath that you're able to push that activates the phone, the dial tone. You ring the number, then you put the money in.
Uh-oh, we lost Artie again. But so no, my interest in trains started very relatively recently. It's hard to believe it's been almost 7 years now, but I got my first train in 2015, and which I don't have anymore. I traded it away. Is he trying to come back or no? Are you there, Artie?
Sorry about that.
You there, Artie?
Well, his mic here is off again.
Yeah, it says his mic's off.
Yeah, he's struggling.
Huh.
Well, we'll find out.
Well, there's quite a few comments in here where everybody met somebody, and
everybody met somebody sometime.
So Mystic says, fellas used to tell me produce department was a great place to meet chicks. Dwight says, yeah, no cell phones. Chris says, carrier pigeon. Girlie says, laugh out loud. Hey, Artie, what's up?
I think I'm going to go make a very abusive, stern phone call.
Well, what's going on? You look heated.
I had to change rooms. Still having issues with the internet here.
Yeah.
What we had with what I was saying before I really got disconnected, we had our payphones, and used to have the people that used to thieve the money box from underneath. And underneath you had a trigger switch. So we end up dialing the US numbers, pulling in $1 worth of coins in, and every time the time comes up, the coins would drop out underneath. So I'd collect the coins and put it back up in the slot. So it was recycling the coins. At the end of the day, I was talking to the lady friend Courtney in the US for an hour. She goes, "This is costing you a fortune." I go, "No, it's not." "Hey, Great Divide, how are you, buddy? Nice to see you here." I just kept on recycling $1 worth of coins through the money slot. As it's going in, it's coming out the bottom. Put him back in again. Didn't cost me a cent. Yeah, our payphones now are free, and you can even send text messages from our payphones if you find a payphone.
Yeah, I was just going to ask.
Yeah. I actually saw a couple in the UK. The last time I was in Germany, there were still the ones at the Dumb and Horse station because I actually have but those were those cellular payphones where you had the card and you swipe the card. You didn't put money in. You had a prepaid phone card, or could use nowadays, I guess you'd use a Google Pay or app or whatever, but you could swipe the card and use the payphones. They still have them, but yeah, I can't think of anywhere where there's a payphone here in Toledo. There definitely aren't any on the sidewalks, and I'm trying to think of any of the buildings, some of the old buildings, and no, you don't see payphones anywhere.
Well, we used to have.
Good night, Wigwag.
Night, Wigwag. Thanks for joining, buddy. Over here, they used to have. You were guaranteed to find a payphone at a post office or near a post office.
Mm-hmm.
But come to think of it, I haven't seen a payphone around the areas for a long time. They're all been removed. I don't know where the nearest payphone will be here to me here now. Maybe in Untitled, which is my home suburb, which is just on the other side of the hill. Yeah, over here you can send a text message from our phones. And they actually made it, they can send a text message for free. Yeah, camps in North Queensland. Yeah, well, that's true too. Yeah, so this is how we had how we set it up here. We had no satellite at a camp in North Queensland. We had to go to the station near us to use the payphone at their roadhouse to call home. Well, yeah. What's a payphone? Yeah, it's almost getting like that now. Thomas, what is a payphone?
No, you got to understand where Thomas lives. They won't be getting payphones for another 10 years.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, that's true.
They're still on cans with strings where he's from.
Yeah, I agree with you. I agree with there, Anthony, but that's like some parts of Australia too.
Oh, in some parts of Minnesota, they do yodel like they do in the Alps to communicate.
Yeah,
well,
not to be even remotely socially critical or anything, but all the stuff. Think how old some of us are, and some of you are older. I'm 58.
Anthony, you're 58.
Went out. Yeah.
Really? We're the same. We're the same age.
Yep. December.
Yeah, I was born in 64.
December 1963. But we went out and we played football. We cut ourselves in the mud. We rolled in the grass. We used payphones. We shared drinks around.
Right.
And we got germs.
Yep.
And maybe we got sick. Maybe we didn't. But it's like we've created a germophobic society.
Yeah.
We're so freaked out by germs. Oh, my God, there's germs on everything. We've sanitized everything. We don't get used to them.
Yep. No, you're absolutely right.
That is one thing
right.
That is one thing that I will never forget about New York. When I went to New York for the first time, is when I went to the subway system. All I could smell, there's two things I was able to smell, but one in particular, and that's all that hand sanitizer crap. That's all you smelled. Or the other thing that I smelled was raw urea, with all the homeless people that go down there and relieve themselves. And of course, they get that potent smell. But the hand sanitizer, wherever you go, I remember being kids, we used to play in this. I used to have a sand pit at the front of my place. And damn next door neighbour's cat used to use it as a bloody toilet box, didn't it? But I was playing it. Yeah, I'm fine.
But we did. Now we got kids that don't want to play because they get dirty. it's like, oh my God, we loved playing football and smashing in the mud and getting grabbing dirty. The only thing you had to avoid doing, and again, if you're of an age, you didn't do it with your school clothes or your Sunday clothes. If you didn't come home and change into your play clothes first, and you went out and played football in your school slacks or your Sunday slacks, you got a whooping when you got home.
Yep.
Here we had
that hair or the grass stain. Oh man, the worst words in the world were my mom saying, "Wait till your father gets home."
Yep.
Well, that's same with me here. Like here in Australia, we have to wear school uniforms.
We did actually, John. We had a kid in our school that had nut allergies. So, like, if we had peanut butter sandwiches, we had to move somewhere away from that kid.
We had one,
but there's definitely more allergies today. It's more like it was always there. It's just more diagnosed now. It's just things are more diagnosed.
Yeah. I grew up in the day when my mom would say, "Okay, kids, street lights are on. Time to come home."
Yeah.
That was it. Couldn't be outside after the street lights
came
on.
I didn't. Well, I only got those warnings a few times, and it's like, as soon as that street lights are on, you had to be inside.
We had to be home at 5:59 because dinner was at 6. And your ass better be in the house.
Yeah.
If my dad got home from work at 5:15, slept for half an hour, and expected dinner on the table exactly at 6 o'clock. And if it was 5 minutes late, my dad was raving. But it was, you had to be home, hands washed, and at the table at 6. And if you came in late, you were in trouble. But then if your homework was done, you could go back outside, and then it was the lights. And in my neighborhood, my dad had a whistle, and you could be 3 blocks down, but you'd hear that whistle, and that was get your butt home now.
Yeah.
See, with me here, it was Dad used to get home probably roughly about 10 minutes after I did. So our routine was that when I'd get home from school, get out of my uniform, put my house clothes on, and go and wait for dinner. We had an early dinner. Our dinner was about 4 o'clock. After dinner was done, I had to go and do my homework before I was allowed to go out and play.
Right.
Homework was first. You had to do your work first before you were able to.
We got home.
And there was
and
no
we had
TV. There was no TV before 6, 7 o'clock.
We got home from school about 3:15, 3:30, and you had to get your homework done at least up until like 6th or 7th grade.
Yeah.
Then we were allowed to do some homework before we went to bed. You could save something. But my mom checked and made sure we did our homework. Now, that doesn't mean everybody in my family was an honor student. I had 5 siblings. I had 4 siblings that made it to adulthood. And we ranged from did very well in school to did very poorly in school.
G'day, Steve. How are you, bud?
When we were in elementary school, primary school, some people call it, grammar school, some people call it. We got home from school and you had to get your homework done, and then you could go play. And our kids had that rule that they had to get their homework done before they could go play.
Yeah, but look, am I upset about the way I was brought up? No, because it taught me responsibility, and also taught me, it taught me what life is all about.
So hard.
If you mess up, he's having a lot of problems. They never moved to Memphis, guys, or up around Randall's area. As you can see, the internet is crap.
Well, your rabbit. Maybe he could use those rabbit ears for better signal.
Actually, I've got a friend of mine that's got rabbits not far from me. Maybe you can borrow them. Maybe they'll improve, but it's not helping me at the moment either. I had to change rooms. It never. Were my parents strict? In some ways they were, but in some ways they weren't, because
I remember Sunday nights, just like when the street lights went on when I was a youngster. Sunday night was filled with Mutual Omaha
Wild Kingdom.
Wild Kingdom, and it was filled with Disney. That was
Disney,
it.
yep.
Yep.
Disney.
When it was over, it was
You watched
bedtime.
Marlon Perkins.
Yep.
Marlon Perkins.
Yeah, that was our Sunday nights.
Just as the zebra protects itself in the bushes, you too need protection.
Yeah, and I
Mutual of
remember.
Omaha.
Yeah.
Insurances. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And I remember
Marlon Perkins.
I remember going over my grandparents' house, and Grandma would always want to watch Lawrence Welk and Hee Haw.
We had both shows on, Lawrence Welk and then Hee Haw, and then Disney, and then Mutual of Omaha.
Yeah.
Yep. And then the Sunday night movie, that was always a big event because that was when you got to see the James Bond movies or something like that.
Right. Exactly.
The Mutual of Omaha movies. Yep.
Yeah.
Well, it was Saturdays. I was able to watch the cartoons on a Saturday morning till about 9 o'clock. Then between 9 o'clock and say lunchtime, I had to do some housework or chores or whatnot around the house, and then until we started building the house, I had free time after Saturday afternoon till Sunday night, till about 8:30 at night, and that was bedtime. Sometime 9 o'clock. But when we were building the house, it was like the spare time went up to goulash. Now you're making me hungry, Mystic. Shut up.
Yeah. No. Goulash. Yeah.
The best thing about Mutual of Omaha is Marlon Perkins had the assistant. Anybody remember his name? Marlon Perkins, fellow adventurer, animals expert, Jim Fowler.
Hey, Artie, Frank says he still can't get it. Please play StreamYard up again.
Yeah, I'll see another post. It did get in there, and I went to click to send him in, but it's probably having the same issues as Randall.
You think so?
Well, you're posting a different YouTube thing. That's not the StreamYard link.
Oh, hang on, that's the wrong one. Hang on, let me.
Oh yeah, you're right,
Let
Anthony.
me remove that.
Yeah.
What is
that
that?
was the best thing about Marlon Perkins. We have a rabid lion in there. Jim, go check him out. Marlon Perkins would just stand back. Jim, that lion looks rabid. How about you go check him out? Jim's being eaten right now, so hopefully he has Mutual of Omaha.
Okay, let me just put this in here. Levi, you and Mystic are going to be taken out the back and flogged. You guys are making me hungry. I tell you what, I'll make a wicked Hungarian goulash. Really, and not using the kangaroo meat either, just using the proper beef.
Oh, gonna take him out and flog him, are you? You normally charge me $40 for that.
Proper beef.
Oh, gonna take him out and flog him, are you? Somebody's got to turn their YouTube off. $40 for that.
I would say
Flog him, are you?
that's Frank. Frank, you're gonna have to turn. If you want to come on, there he is. Frank, turn the YouTube off in the background there, bud. If you want to come on, there he is. Frank.
Hey, Frank.
I think you got it.
Got
Yay.
It kept blocking my camera and microphone access. I had to go through all kinds of stuff to get it to allow it to use. And I clicked allow, but it wouldn't allow it. I had to restart, do everything. So how's everybody doing? Daryl?
Good.
How you doing, Frank?
The short answer, Thomas, is yes. They're not necessarily all called goulash. But whether you want to talk sandwich or you want to talk goulash or things like that, there's standard meals where you either threw whatever you had, meat and stock, and threw it into a bowl and whipped it up. And if it was thick, it was goulash or stew or whatever you wanted to call it. Otherwise, it was soup. But yeah, I mean, it's just everybody used their local ingredients and threw it all together into a pot.
Well, that depends if you want to call it that way. But traditionally, goulash was originally a Hungarian dish.
Well, yeah, the name is Hungarian. The word is Hungarian. Yeah. But what I'm saying is that Germans didn't call it goulash, but they had a similar meal. The Brits had a similar meal. It's just it's a worldwide tradition. You know, just like if you made bread and you had meat or cheese, you took a few slaps at it. Nobody called it a sandwich until the 1800s. But
yeah. We had another dish within that part of the world, that part of Europe. Another one that was called paprikash.
Paprika. Oh, Joyce, if Joyce were here, she'd be jumping up and down right now. She loves chicken paprikash.
Chicken. Yeah. I don't mind the chicken, but I prefer the beef.
Right. She just likes chicken paprikash.
My biological dad does the used to do it with pigeon. But mind you, he used to breed these pigeons that were nearly as big as a chicken. They were too big to fly. But he just made it too oily and greasy. I love making it. And I'll make a big pot, cook it up. I'd freeze some of it for later on, but I just haven't had the opportunity to do it. And actually, I'm getting... What is a Vegemite sandwich? Oh, fuck.
I can't see the chat, so I get...
Yeah, what is a Vegemite sandwich?
Vegemite is just a spread you have to get used to.
He has it.
All Aussies have it.
See, it's rich in vitamin B. Right?
Oh,
Probably made in Australia because nobody else will make it.
look, it looks like axle grease.
It does. It does look like axle grease.
It is.
It's one of those things that's an acquired taste.
I bet you it makes it smooth coming out.
It's like Marmite's. Yeah, it is like Marmite.
It looks like you would need a chisel to get it off the roof of your mouth.
Here,
I'll tell you what. Vegemite, put Vegemite on in a sandwich with the American cheese, like the American sliced cheese. It really makes it zing.
I bet zing right out the other end. It would zing right out the other end with all that grease.
No, it's actually quite good. It's an acquired taste. Like for you Americans,
the first time you ever try it, you got to do it really thin, a thick piece of bread and a really thin layer, because it is a very different taste.
Randall, is it
no way to say what it tastes like. It tastes like Vegemite.
The closest thing that would taste of Vegemite is if when you make a beef roast, and you get all that fat and all those juices, and especially the blackness that you get on the bottom of the roasting dish, and you used to dip your bread into it. All that black stuff that's on the bottom, you scrape it up. That's Vegemite tastes almost like it. No, Martin, no, I would disagree there. No, the Vegemite still tastes better.
Well, I've had Vegemite a couple of times, and I don't know if I would say it tasted like residual beef broth.
It's close. It's not like it, but it's close.
That's why I've tried to explain what it tastes like, and I have not come up with an analogy. It tastes like Vegemite. It's the first time you have it, it is not a pleasant experience. But if you do it really thin, you get used to it. I haven't had it enough where I'd say, oh yeah, I like it, but if somebody gave me a piece of toast with Vegemite on it, I could eat it without going, which is exactly how I reacted the first time I had it.
Randall,
the same way I tried when I had eel for the first time.
Yeah, Chris just said the word I was looking for, the same kind of spread, Nutella.
Nutella's all right.
Yeah.
Yeah, that can't.
No, nothing like Nutella's good.
It's hazelnut.
Yeah. No, we have it here in our cabinet. But That's the word I was thinking of, and Chris said it.
My kids never had Nutella until they went to Germany, and now it's in every house in my family.
Okay. Hey, I'll be right back in a minute. My dog wants me to play with him for a few minutes. I'll be right back.
Okay.
All right.
He's driving me nuts.
When I was younger, I hated the taste of Vegemite.
Mm-hmm.
We didn't have it so much at home, but I hated it.
I think most of your taste buds died off. That's what happened.
Well, man, but it's same as shrimp. It's same as shrimp. I never used to like it when I was a child.
Can't eat shrimp.
But as I got older, I got to enjoy it. My problem was when Mum made me a Vegemite sandwich, she had a thick layer of Vegemite on the bread, where she actually had to do with, as Anthony was saying, just put a small smear of it. But it got to a point where I went on a job site and all we had was jam and Vegemite. That's all we had left over, and I was pretty much forced to. Yes, it is salty.
Salty, yeah.
Yeah, it is salty. But that was all we had. Didn't have much of an option. And it's like, well, either eat that or you starve. And it's like, well,
yeah.
taste buds accepted it.
Mystic Spam was everywhere, but Spam in some ways is a generational thing. I grew up, my dad made fried Spam and Velveeta sandwiches for us. You know, that imitation cheese, Velveeta, which we still use to make macaroni and cheese. It actually makes good macaroni and cheese. Yeah, my dad would every now and then for a Saturday lunch or a Sunday brunch. He opened a can of Spam. My dad loves Spam. He grew.
My wife loves Spam.
My dad was an oops baby at the height of the Depression, and they were very poor when he was growing up, and Spam was a staple. And my dad, because of how he grew up, you had to eat everything from the table. You were not allowed to not like food. And I was a very picky eater, which meant I got punished a lot because I didn't like a lot of food. And my mom
I asked for been a bit smart one. Don't know if anyone knows that Mini Print's got a competition going on for the to do a model diorama using the size of a lid of a peanut butter jar. Well, I just got Vegemite jar, but I asked someone to give me, if they had a Vegemite jar lid, a Vegemite jar that was full, or that was empty, not full. She gone out and bought me a full one, so I can't eat this in 2 weeks. I'll go show the small jar.
But go bad in 2 weeks either.
But Spam became associated with poverty. And so a lot of people don't buy Spam because they think it's too poor. You know,
that's a small jar and that's a big jar.
And that's not that's not to disparage anybody who eats Spam. As a kid, I ate it. Nowadays, I probably wouldn't like it because I wasn't huge on it. But if my dad fried it where it was crispy enough and then melted the Velveeta on it, we ate it. But that was the funny thing. The only time my dad let us off the hook is carrots. My dad hated carrots. And my dad hated carrots because they lived out in the country and there was a farm that grew carrots. And my dad, as a 3 and 4-year-old, had to sneak into the farmer's yard and steal carrots so the family could eat. And they had carrot stew and carrot cake and carrot sandwiches. And my dad just regaled us with all the time they had to eat carrots because that was the only food they could find. And so that was like, if I didn't want to eat carrots, that was like the one time it was
Bet he never had bad eyesight.
Actually, my dad had great eyesight until in his 40s, and then his eyes went really bad. But yeah, he
that's when mine went bad.
Well, the worst thing is I had amazing eyesight up until the age of 42, and I went to a doctor's appointment. He says, You're 42, yeah. And he tested my eyes, and I was 2010 at the time, which is better than 2020. I was 2010. And if you don't know how the letters work on eye charts, the first number is the distance away. So it's like it's supposed to be 20 feet. And the second is the height in centimeters, inches, that you can read a letter. So 2020 meant that you could read like a 20 centimeter letter from 20 feet away. That's what 2020 meant. And so both eyes, so when people say I have 20/20 vision, actually you might have 20/20 in one and 20/15 in the other, what have you. But anyhow, I had perfect vision. And then my doctor said, yeah, men's eyes tend to start going bad around 43, 44. And by 44, I was in glasses.
Yeah, see, I can see you guys fine right there, but if I got to read the phone.
If I take this off, I can distinguish stuff, but there's a blur around everybody, which, helps with some people.
Here, wait a minute. Let me take my glasses off. Okay.
Yeah.
Artie, you're pretty. You're very pretty, Artie.
You guys are all ugly bitches.
Wow. It's all us old men put our glasses back on.
Like that. Yeah, no.
I had commented about that Star Trek thing that I said earlier in one of Heath's chats, and they said somebody else had said they don't put you back together right. I'm like, well, I'll probably come out better looking.
Nah, I wouldn't be that lucky. But one I have used it. This is a good ingredient to cook with as well.
We're gonna get you sponsored by them. Geez, that's the 5th time you stuck that bottle up there.
I used it with Brussels sprouts, beans, and a few other things, thrown away on the fry pan. And I put the dab of that in the fry pan. I tell you what, it really made it pop.
Awesome America Railroading, brought to you by Vegemite.
Actually, the Vegemite is made by Kraft too. So
and Spam, brought to you by Vegemite and Spam.
Yeah.
When I go in the outback, when I go in the outback, and what's his name here? Great Divide will probably vouch on this too. Like majority of us, when we go out in the bush, and
yeah, you gotta be careful when you're out in the bush. You don't want to get poison ivy on it.
We don't have much poison ivy out there, but Vegemite is a must. Then we have Spam, corned beef, whatnot, tinned food.
Grace likes corned beef too. Ugh,
I bet you took that Vegemite and you wouldn't get no mosquitoes either.
I don't know. I haven't tried that, but probably not. Yeah, they'll probably attract flies though.
Or yeah, but it would attract the dung beetles.
They'd roll you up.
Yeah, we could use that. Yeah, I would try that. I would.
No, that's how they meet Australian women. They just rub a little in the armpits and they walk through the bars and they all see women are like, oh, I smell Vegemite.
Mystic, I tell you what, you are going to get flogged one day when I see you. Yeah, now you are making me hungry. That's it. All right, guys, the show's over. I've got to go and do a brisket. Actually, I might do one for next weekend. Yeah,
Joy celebrates her Irish heritage every St. Patrick's Day by making her own corned beef.
Yeah. But I mean, all the stuff that we do buy.
She and my son are the only one who eats it. The rest of us are like, fine, we're having something else.
You just get what you get given when you're at my place. Huh. But
I'll be packing my own, so don't worry about it.
You got to get it through the border.
Just borrow me your chainsaw and let me point me to the cows. I'll make my own.
Oh yeah, they're that way. But yeah, a lot of the foods that we used to carry with us in the boxes is a lot of tin food and instant noodles and instant foods and whatnot.
Cornbread.
Because he didn't need
God,
You didn't need what you call it, refrigerators to store it. Special hot, but no.
I heard him say cornbread. I must have made him hungry.
Cornbread.
Oh, cornbread. My mom was a terrible cook, but she could make desserts and bread, and her cornbread is still the best cornbread I've ever had. Joyce has tried to make cornbread twice in our 35 years of marriage, and yeah, it wasn't the same, and I made the mistake of mentioning that, and she has not made cornbread or tried to make cornbread in 20 some years.
Mm-mm.
But
There
yeah,
is one.
it's the only time you'll ever hear me say it, but my mom made the best cornbread. My mom's cornbread was to fight and kill for.
I think Daryl went and got some food. What do you got for us, Daryl?
No, I finally had to lock my dogs out because they're just bugging me.
Daryl,
They're smelling the Vegemite.
I guess that must be what it is. All this talking of food. Yeah, my dog, he's just nuts tonight.
Daryl, I always wanted to ask Daryl the question on his water behind him. It's so dang reflective. Do you like it that way, or did you consider putting some like gloss Mod Podge on it to give it some wave?
No,
Actually, it's the angle. If you see that from different angles, it's perfect.
Yeah, I can see the reflection of his locomotives in it. I mean, that looks great, but it looks so flat.
Yeah,
actually, sorry, our water here during the day in the lake and whatnot, it goes like that.
Oh yeah, no breeze.
Yeah. Hold on, I'll be right back again. Damn it. Okay, you behave.
There's sections in my water where it's perfectly smooth and stuff but like around the rocks and stuff, I've put ripples and.
I just got to work out how to do that yet.
No, I just left it flat because that's exactly what I wanted. I wanted the reflection of the trains as they're going by.
Yeah, and that looks awesome. I was just wondering if you were finished with it or not. So.
No, I mean, I could put ripples in it, but that's going to take away the effect that I like the most about it is reflection. And that's the same way with the pour when Dave from Crooked River Eastern, when he had me up, the same thing. I told him just kind of leave it because you'll see the reflection of the water. See, remember, when you personally visit a layout, the ripples give it the realistic effect. But when you got stuff on camera, it's a lot different. So what you're seeing here is just, you're seeing a flat surface, but you're seeing the reflection. If I had a bunch of ripples and whitewash in it, it wouldn't look like that. It would just look like realistic water, but I just left it as a mirror. So it gives that effect.
No, I like it. I was just wondering if you were going to do more with it.
The scene's not done yet, but it's done enough to where, I'm comfortable the way it is.
Yeah, you need some girls on that beach there.
I need some what?
Some bikinis on that beach back there.
Oh no, I have beach girls on here, but they're all naked. I don't put them out because I'm on live. But if I know some people are coming over, I put those sunbathers out.
That's funny because one of my buildings in my main town has the upstairs has a red light in it, and if you think to look in that window, there's a woman flashing you.
I mean, I have I just took one of the lounge chairs. I don't know if you can kind of see it.
But let me make it bigger.
This is like one of the lounge chairs.
Okay.
Oh, cool.
That's what I was messing with today was people.
Now, you're not part of the group that Anthony's in, are you?
No.
The Amputation
What group would that
Society?
be? I'm in a lot of groups.
In the Amputation Society where you chop the legs off?
No, actually, what's
Hey,
crazy,
George.
some of the
Hey, George, how are you, buddy?
Hey, George.
Yeah, Jeff, the railroad enthusiast. Yeah, I got that out of a package of not Scenic Express, the other company.
Woodland.
I'm trying to think of the company, but in any case,
I don't chop the legs off, Artie, but when I come across figures with the where's the camera? There it is. With the base on them, I just rub those on a file or some sandpaper till I'm at the bottom of the feet. I get rid of that base.
Yeah, but do you do passenger trains, Frank?
Yes.
And do you put people on them?
No.
See, that's where the amputation is.
Oh, yeah, you'd have to.
yeah.
You'd have to. Because they don't make the seats in scale.
No, because they put a lot of stuff underneath. That's one of the, and also I don't know how it works for the American market, but even though we say HO is 187 scale, the vast majority of passenger coaches in German model trains or European model trains are more like, depending on the company, like Merklin's is 1 to 93.5 or 1 to 95, depending on what they're making. And some are even as small as 1 to 100 scale. And so, yeah, there's no way an HO scale person will fit in those seats when they're that small.
And the passenger set that I have on the layout now, there's 3 Lionel coaches. That actually came out of a Cajun set, Lionel HO Cajun set. But they have silhouettes in the window, so no people need it.
Oh, the old, what scale do you do, Frank? I forget.
HO.
You are HO, okay? Because I know Lionel. When I think of Lionel, I think of O scale.
Lionel.
But yeah, a lot of the times they put the little silhouettes in their passenger cars.
Split Rock, you see, with the Aussie pubs here, we have a lot of exotic dancers on Friday nights. Oh, wrong person.
And these lights, so.
Yeah, that's the same. That's the same concept of what Tyco did with their Creamline passenger cars.
Although these ones don't seem to flicker. I don't know. I haven't took one apart. I don't know if it's LEDs in there. They don't seem to flicker at all.
They've probably got a little capacitor in them now. How old is it?
I don't think my track's that clean. What you ask, Artie?
I said, is that one the new ones or the older ones?
New ones.
Yeah, I believe they might have a little capacitor in them. And the
capacitor. I'm gonna see if I can pop that off without. Nope, it's screwed on.
That'd be right.
It's screwed on. I'm not breaking it.
No, don't break it.
That I was working on the people today and making windows using the old. I put tape on the backside and I just use this. Once it dries, perfectly clear windows.
Okay.
Yeah. I'll have to look into that. Because I've got a few models I've got to work on that needs windows.
Yeah, you could go out and you could buy that clear plastic and cut it and glue it inside. But I think it was Rick that showed me this.
Yeah. There's specific clear glues that also label themselves as window makers.
Yeah, and you just put a piece of tape on the backside, fill it in, and let it dry.
And you could do that with anything. Like if you buy window frame, you're doing a building and you make window frames from scratch or buy it. It looks more realistic because you get a thicker window sill, but also it fills the gap instead of just being that filament behind it. And that's one of those things where if you really want to do that and bring it that realistic, you do it. Or it's one of those things where if you have a building that's going to be on the front of your layout that people are going to see, then it really makes that building look more realistic. If it's a building that's going to be in the back, it's not worth the time and the money because you do go through a lot of that glue to do it. So it's one of those. It's like trees. Like
I go through a lot of it.
Like when I used to do battlefields, I would buy the cheap trees from China, but then I'd have some nice homemade or whatever trees that I would put on the front. So behind them would be all the junk trees to make it look like a forest, but the nicer trees would be on the edge. So you buy a couple of packs where they were, well, back in the day, they were like $12 and you'd get 3 or 4 trees. Now to get those really nice, realistic woodland scenic trees, I think 4 are like $30 or something like that. But you get a few of those and and then just fill the background with the lesser stuff. Now, right there, is that yours, Frank? Yeah. What I want to compliment you on right there is there are people who really work hard to do this, but you blended the color of your trees so nicely into your background. It really makes that pop.
Yeah. I gotta, let me see if I can move that camera around.
Harley Bishop in the UK did a layout where he really worked hard, and the static grass and the fluff grass that he put on his layout blended beautifully into the background, because sometimes you get people put that bright green static grass or fluff grass down, but then it's a muted green in the background scene. And if you're going to go to that effort to make that detailed scenery, I'm not into proto realistic, but you kind of got to make a little bit of an effort to make sure that those don't contrast so badly.
Well, you see what drove me nuts last week is back in that far corner there is those high tension wires one up over the mountain.
Mm-hmm.
Drilling those out, stringing those, bringing them down to a substation, and then wiring all the telephone poles. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, I think it was Bach, German brand that actually had the high tension power lines actually active.
Active.
Yeah.
You know, I've seen people do that.
Power in it.
I've seen people running trolleys and GG1s with the overhead power.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I couldn't imagine running and rigging all that wire.
It's not that hard.
No, a lot of the German stuff, even in HO, you can power your catenaries and run the trains actually off the pantographs.
Yeah, the Bachmann GG1 that I sent Heath can do that. It can run off.
Right.
The crazy thing is here now, I actually want to take some old plastic stuff that your models come on. You break it apart. What do they call that leftover stuff? I have some gray here. I don't know where it's at. But I want to cut little transformers out of that stuff and actually run wire and down tubes on each building. So there's wires coming from the power lines to the buildings. I'm going to get a little crazy with it.
That's cool. The hills around western Pennsylvania there.
Yeah. Yep.
I've been to Pittsburgh a few times. Beautiful city. I'm a Browns fan, but Pittsburgh's a beautiful city. I've got friends and shops in Pittsburgh that I love.
I've been a Steeler fan for 30 some years, but this year got me thinking.
Dude, I've been a Browns fan. I was a year old the last time they won an NFL championship, and I've got 57, 58 years of heartache since.
So you didn't follow them to Baltimore?
No. That was the 5 years without the Browns was almost worth getting rid of Modell.
Oh, yeah, that background that I put up there, that's from Train Junkie.
Okay.
I still have like 10 feet of it left. Because where I'm sitting here looking at you guys, this room's an addition on the house. So right behind this computer is a window that's no longer there.
Okay.
It has shelves with trains and stuff on it, and that camera that's looking at my layout, I was sitting on one of those shelves. So I'm actually looking at my layout right there through the opening where the window used to be. And I ordered I said, maybe I'll just put some hardboard up and cover the window up and have it all the way around. I was like, no, I like this view from my office across the train. So,
yeah, well, I'm thinking, like with the way I'm doing my expansion, I've done the upper level. It's going to.
Artie lost his camera.
Artie, did you shave? You look different.
Yeah, I'm just doing something here at the moment.
Well, get a tissue and wipe your finger off.
I hope he's not using the Vegemite.
Right.
It'll make me lose track of what I was going to say. Yeah, with doing the upper level, I'm going to have a difficulty in opening up and closing the window.
I come from a land down under.
So yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how much light I'm going to get through that side window where the layout is now.
Hmm.
But don't talk all at once.
We're trying to hear what you're doing.
Oh, is that what he's trying to do? No, don't do that.
Oh my goodness.
Need Vegemite to get the squeaks out, Artie.
No, I just had something else. No, it's not quite that good. We'll not go there. The Mystic is no. Brick it up. I wish I could brick it up, but it's not my house, white wall. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to put because that window needs to be opened up during the summertime because it'll just get too hot in there and let some fresh air in. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put
Yeah, you're lucky. You're getting ready to go into summer.
Yeah.
We're getting ready to freeze.
Yeah, they're lucky. That means the rain will come every other day instead of every day.
Yeah. Well, that's what they're predicting. Actually, they reckon we're going to have another wet summer. But
yeah, Artie, I heard today on the news that Victoria and Tasmania are still kind of underwater.
Well, Victoria is, but look,
they should model boats, maybe.
They're Australians. They can
float.
float.
I'm making a big deal out of it, but I mean, a lot of the new buildings, what they built down there, they built in the floodplain. They didn't think about, it's going to flood again.
Oh, they thought about it.
Like in Melbourne.
That's big money.
Well, yeah, of course, it's this. At the end of the day, I remember back in the late 80s.
What are we looking at? He's looking at himself.
There's one. Here's one. Here's a grandfather.
Mystic asked how many grandfathers are on the panel. I'm a grandfather.
9 times over, Mystic.
No, Australia isn't sinking yet, is Sean.
Nope,
No, buddy. No, we're not sinking just yet, I think.
No, I think he forgot a T in there. I think he was asking, is Australia stinking? With everybody wearing the Vegemite.
Depends where. Well, you only stink it depending where you go, what part of Australia you go to. But yeah, I remember Victoria flooding back in the mid 80s and the late 80s, like from 86 to 89, they were going through a period of 4 or 5 years.
What direction's Melbourne? That way, just follow your nose.
Yeah. So, you insist on building something closer and closer to the rivers where it's flood, you're going to get it. So, let's not go there. I mean,
I'm going to have to message Rick here and tell him to put some Vegemite with your face on there.
No. It's all right. I've got something for him.
If you look carefully, Artie does have a little Vegemite in his mustache hairs.
Yeah, well, see.
Couldn't resist. That's why he turned the camera off. He had a big spoon up.
He's a real. He was just eating that by the spoonful now.
Yeah, I just didn't want to make you guys cringe or lose me viewers. That's all. But
I'm not sure what George from Whitewall Will's One Hardcore was meaning by that. I don't understand his comment.
Yeah, that's a midget.
That's a midget best way.
Oh, I think he was talking. You were like swatting at something for a second. Like, was it a mosquito, a midge?
A midge fly.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. No. No. It was a big bug that went in my ear. It just did.
And didn't come out. Got lost.
Well, no, it came out. That's why I was doing this.
It flew straight through.
I thought he was talking about something else, like a blue flamer or something like that.
No, but he's actually right on because
British English. I know how to translate British English, at least some cases. Yeah. Midgie is like a mosquito.
For some reason.
Yeah, no, it was pretty big.
Fly, like a flea.
Yeah.
Last summer,
Last
summer we had a pile of horseflies in our basement for some reason. I looked everywhere, couldn't find out why, but I couldn't get them. So I turned off the basement light and went outside and put a lamp outside the window and opened that basement window. They all flew outside at night. Yep. They all went to that light outside. Got rid of all them flies.
No, if you see me doing that, that's just the DTs coming back.
Yeah, well, with all the rain we had early in the year, because they couldn't cut the grass in the football field here, and of course you had all the little midges and all the little fleas and whatnot.
All right, Artie, you didn't check security.
What do you mean?
Somebody got the Dane got through again. That darn Dane is here.
That's your job. You're the security guard.
Dude, no. It's your channel.
Well,
you're the one who can set up blocks. I can't set up blocks. And now we've got a Dane here. We've got a Dane infestation, and we're going to have to get somebody to deal with it.
Look, we'll let him off. He's been good this week. He's been quiet. He's been a good guy this week. We're letting him this week.
Yeah. So we're just going to randomly change the rules now. Okay.
What rule got broken?
Allowing the Dane in.
He's talking about Jean
Ricard.
Speaking of Jean
Ricard, he's half Danish, half French. He's half Danish, half French, which means he likes to invade and then immediately surrender.
Who says he's surrendering? Who says he ever surrenders? He's just playing wise man's card. He's just playing the wise man's card. Look, he's been nice to Joyce, because he knows Joyce is the number one in the house, especially now. She's the boss. If the wife says no, that means no.
You keep believing that.
I don't have to believe it. I've seen how it goes in nearly every household when it's a wife. The woman rules the house.
We take turns. We're like a Roman Senate. It all depends on what the situation is as to who's in charge.
Yeah. But still,
the minute you announce one person's in charge, you're doomed.
But as soon as you upset the wife, you're in trouble.
Yeah, but she's also in trouble if she upsets me.
But not as much trouble as you be in.
No. You got to remember, I'm bigger.
Yeah, but you still can fall down. Eventually.
Maybe.
Yeah, anyway, my granddaughter might be 20 and going out with a bad person.
She might be. Now, which part is the might be? Might be 20 or might be going out with a bad person, or both? She might be 20 and going out with a bad person, or she might be 33 and married with 3 kids.
Invite him over there, Curly. Dwight. Invite him over and just clean one of these in front of him. Clean one of these.
Yeah.
Clean one of those in front of him.
Yeah. Now, are you gonna behave yourself?
My problem is my daughter's had problems getting dates in high school because their dad taught at the school. So the students knew their dad and were intimidated by that.
Well,
my oldest daughter brought a date home once, and it was one of my students said, you just stand there and look at him and go, my daughter will be home at 9. At 8:55, sir.
So your daughters were genuinely teachers' pets?
No. The biggest issue my daughters had was how to address, or my kids, because my son too, I taught all 3 of my kids, was what to call me in school. Like my oldest, she would just raise her hand. And I think she was a junior, and one day in class she said, Dad, and somebody looked at her and goes, did you just call Mr. Dodge Dad? And she goes, well, he is my dad. You didn't notice my name was Dodge and his name was Dodge? I'm like, well, you never said anything. Yeah, my other daughter called me Dad from day one. Dad, she'd raise her hand, Dad. And then by the time my son came in, everybody knew I was his dad because they knew me all along. Yeah. I've got so many adopted sons with my son because all his friends were my sons too.
Who lost, Steve?
Yeah, but
Dodgers.
Well, there's always next week, Steve.
The Dodgers pay to lose.
Exactly.
The what?
The Dodgers, they pay to lose. They spend all this money just to lose all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah, they did it. They did it last year, so it's okay.
It's all about this.
We kept it south of us, not north of us, so that's okay.
Yeah. But yeah, you're right, Jean Ricard. I mean, if it wasn't for Joyce, we wouldn't have this guy here. I mean, she looks after him. She's an amazing person for doing that and putting up with him.
The best thing to say about Joyce is she has put up with me for almost 40 years.
Yeah.
Because
she's done a good.
But Joyce is tough. Joyce has got steel bones in her. She's you watch a woman give birth.
Hi, Nancy.
Hey, Nancy. You watch a woman give birth, and then they turn around and want to do it again, and you're like, "What the are you thinking? Why would you want to go through that again?" And that's the thing, because I watched Joyce. I was in the room all 3 times Joyce gave birth, and the second time she almost died. And that was the scariest thing in the world, is because all of a sudden you're in there and they're like, they're okay, we're pushing. Wait, we've got hemorrhaging. We're going to have to do that. And it's like, get him out of here. And they grabbed me and rushed me out. And they brought me in about 20 minutes later. Okay, things are fine. And I'm out there freaking out. But my second daughter was a bit overcooked. And Joyce had a very hard and very tough delivery with her.
Scary.
Yeah, we're still at the Vegemite here. You see,
that would have made super easy.
See, I had lunch.
Artie, go ahead. Stick your finger in there.
Camera's gonna go off while he brushes his teeth now.
No, but yeah, suddenly his camera's going to mysteriously malfunction while he goes and brushes his teeth and throws up.
Well, at least I didn't go take it out the other
Artie,
way.
I'm telling you right now, if you had a money button to push,
Artie,
I would give you a $20 bill there, my friend.
I wish you were monetized right now.
Just for that. Yeah, if you were monetized, buddy, I'd hit the $20 bill, man. That was well worth it.
Oh, it would have been better if you would have took it and went.
Oh, well, I would have said, what would you do?
Did you look at it? That's what it is. It's earwax.
That's what it does look like. That does what it look like. Yep. That is exactly what it looks like.
At least you guys saw me taking it, put my finger in the jar. It was clean when it went in, and it didn't.
That's like one of my favorite scenes from the old movie Airplane. Does anybody remember the movie Airplane?
I remember, but I don't know which scene you're talking about.
The one airline guy played by Robert Stack. He's meeting all the guys there, and one guy's doing this. Get your finger out of your ear. You don't know where that's been. And the guy's like, and that's how you get Vegemite.
Is that stuff made over there by Kraft?
Yes. Yeah, it's made there. What was made in Melbourne, I don't know where it's. It's getting made now, because I know.
So there's some large elementary school in Australia where they're paying kids to.
That'd be down Melbourne. Yeah, that's down Melbourne. But no, the Vegemite's not made out of that. I'm going to tell you that now.
Did you read the ingredients?
I've been in the factory. I've seen how they make it. So, yeah, that was in the old factory. I don't know what they do in the new factory. I better go down and have a look. Where see a lot of the factories that they had, like where they used to make it, which was near the city of Melbourne, they closed a lot of their factories out and pushed them out, and they turned it into a fancy precinct.
Daryl's gonna have me turn my rearrange my room so that when I'm sitting like this, you guys can see the train behind me.
Well, I've said it. I just, I was a viewer of YouTube, and I'm still a viewer of YouTube. And I thought, when I look at people's channels, I look at what they're live streaming behind, and this is what I envisioned. So, I mean, I wanted to sit behind something that,
you ruined it.
So you can watch.
It. Those are Amazon. Oh, you ruined it.
Vegemite is made from yeast.
Yeah, it's a yeast. It's an extract of wheat yeast.
Yeah,
those are
brewer's yeast. Like the yeast they use to make beer and stuff like that, and they kind of reprocess it.
Look how slow that train's moving. No wonder my Amazon stuff's always late.
That's why giving up ordering from Amazon.
They're not even crawling. They're we're
starting to talk about it again, Thomas. We're talking about Vegemite again.
Yeah, they're on step 8 right now. I can take them down to step 4, and then they'll really crawl.
Do you run 28 or do you run
one? I run 128.
Oh, I just run 28.
Yeah, I run 128 on all of my stuff. Yeah.
Yeah.
Those are Amazon trailers and well cars.
Oh, nice.
I saw them out here one time, them sitting in well cars. They were not purpose. They were not a purpose trailer for them. They actually had them locked in a different way. But I know there's purpose well cars for trailers. The ones that I seen out here were exactly what I saw. I saw the Amazon trailers in well cars.
They're sitting on their supports.
So I just decided to do something like that.
Oh.
Anthony, now we know why that Amtrak train was actually late going from Detroit to Chicago, where it was in your area a couple of days ago.
Okay.
Because it was all held up by this guy down here.
I see.
Right away.
Get through. 19 hours late.
Well, if it's going from Detroit to Chicago, it probably did not go through Toledo, because there is a separate line that runs straight from Detroit to Chicago.
Yeah,
anything heading from the East Coast to Chicago comes through Toledo.
Yeah. What did it take them? 19
hours.
5-hour train trip took them 19 hours.
Yeah, and there's a lot of people that did video that showed themselves just getting off the train and walking through the bushes and other tracks to get off the train. They had enough. And it's because what they were saying is because the railroad is so mismanaged as far as trains going through there, that's why it takes so long. So I don't know.
See, I'll tell you what, really, I mean, the way
19
that
hours, that's a long time.
Yeah. Detroit to Chicago. Yeah, no, that's awful.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah, it was awful.
Like over here, they try to promote us to go back into public transport and go to public transport more often. And our biggest bottleneck used to be basically our biggest bottleneck was the freight trains. They used to hold a lot of the trains up, believe it or not, the passenger services. So what they'd done was, it wasn't so bad coming from the west, but from my way down in Wollongong and out west, the Sydney Melbourne line, it used to bank up. All you need is one freight train to break down. So what they've done now is they created a dedicated freight line only, keep the passenger trains running. But I mean, when you look at the price of a ticket, depending where you're going, of course, like for me here, it's cheaper for me to go by train up to Sydney than what it is to go up there by car at the moment.
Mm-hmm.
Here he is. Hey, Greg, how are you, buddy?
Hey, there's Greg.
Yeah, nice to see you. Nice to see you all pretty well.
Yeah, Greg, I was gone all day today. I wanted to email you before I posted that video. First of all, thank you for taking the lead. The soundtrack you sent me without the music was really nice, but for some reason, as I kept putting it into my mixer, whenever I would then burn the video, it kept coming out very tinny sounding, and I don't know why. I don't know if it was how the it was just an MP3 file you sent me, but it just kept coming out a little tinny, and I kept trying to adjust it, and that was unfortunately the best I could do. So if you're happy with that, I'll leave it up. If not, I'll yank it down. But
John,
since you said nice parody, I think you're happy with it. We posted a new parody song today. And we'll have another one.
Anthony's drivers are going on strike. That's why his trains are not running. His drivers are going on strike. And send me for their passengers.
I'm sitting here laughing to myself, Artie, because I went to Strasbourg with those guys when they had you there. And I'm thinking they're down at Ray's house tonight, and they have you there.
I know.
Yeah.
I can't imagine what's going on there. I missed it. I couldn't find.
I don't think they're using Vegemite.
No, they haven't got Vegemite there, thank God. But I know the comment that I did here was, "Oh, he's upstairs on the pole." So I hate to know what they've done. It will be only a matter of time in the next week or two. I'll definitely get
those guys.
photos.
Those guys were at Mini Prince booth scanning themselves too. And if you go to Mini Prince website, he actually has DJ already available from DJ.
What?
He has DJ from DJ's Train. They scan themselves.
Yeah,
and they're making figures of themselves.
Yeah, Joyce and I are going to head up to Niagara Falls in Toronto. Probably not until the spring, but we want to stop in and get 3D images of ourselves made for my layout. I've been trying to custom make a bunch of my students and have us standing at the station like we did for so many years.
That'd be awesome.
So it'd be me, all my students, Joyce bringing up the rear, because that's how we worked. I was in the front leading, my students all bunched together, and then Joyce bringing up the rear. And it was always nice because a lot of the girl students were more comfortable talking to Joyce about certain things.
I'm gonna buy those figures though, and I'm gonna pose them on different places on my layout. Like I have an idea for Rick. He's going up by the lumberjack scene. I'm gonna put him there like a tree hugger with the guy trying to jump.
I've already got a spot for the plumber, even though the scene hasn't been made yet. But I've already got a spot for him, with his skateboard.
God, I don't know how many times we've been to Niagara Falls, and it's always beautiful.
Maybe
I was meant to be there earlier this year, but never made it.
Maybe I'll have Heath chasing a clown down the street. I don't know.
Well, that's why I like what Rick from Folds Bailey is doing, where he's doing all the different buildings dedicated to some of his model train friends and the Sidetrack Sunday people, where it's somehow connected. So like there was a printing company or an electric company, and he did that, Heath Hurwitz's Electronics or whatever, and something for Ray, and insurance company or whatever for John, Schuylkill River Valley. But I mean, that's just cool.
Yeah, I was thinking about making the hobby shop, changing the name on it to Tom's Trains and Things.
I am leaving the chat, Nancy. I'm just trying to keep up with it all. I've seen everything. And
Nancy, Artie's been doing Vegemite, so right now he's not even seeing the same planet the rest of us are.
He's hallucinating.
He's got little kangaroos hula dancing around his head right now.
He's got his head so
those
hard.
ain't kangaroos. Those ain't kangaroos.
His glasses are fogging up.
Well, that's true too. Okay, Randall. Yeah, well, look, we're sure to see that pass.
Mystic, it's cold up there in November.
Yeah, Mystic, you can come to Southern California, actually to Huntington Beach. I'll teach you how to surf. There you go. There's a vacation.
You know, that's one thing I have never done.
Yeah.
And we got the top surf out here. That is one thing I have never done.
Does Vegemite shark repellent?
No, Vegemite isn't actually. No, it's black and it looks like seal. So no.
No, we actually take the jet skis out there to actually we launch them out of Dana Point and we jump the waves out there. It's been a few months since I've done that out there, but
are they the stand-ups there or are they sit down like the wave?
No, I used to have stand-ups. No, these are your
watercraft. Just sit down.
Yeah. These are your bombardiers. These are the super fast ones. Yeah. And we usually, when we're out there wave jumping, we will usually have, because it's against the law, you can't do that. And so we go kind of far out, and what we do is we take turns. We'll have guys with binoculars kind of watch for the Coast Guard. And then we go out there and we jump the waves. Now, remember, if you hit a 3 or 4 foot swell on the backside when you're coming down, it's at least 8 to 10 feet before you hit water.
And if you hit it at 50 mile an hour,
well, yeah, you don't really want to hit it that fast. But yeah, it's quite a rush. It really, really is. So,
I had a personal watercraft, a Sea-Doo here for a while, and we used to jump the wakes behind the barges going up the river. And I caught the deep side of a wake one time in submarine. Scariest thing I ever did. Scariest thing.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah. You really, really got to know how to ride those things when you're doing that, so, and especially in the ocean. It's different out in the ocean than jumping off a wake behind, let's say, a wakeboard boat at the Colorado River. It's way different.
Yeah.
Way different. You can end up actually.
But you're not far from the big. Well, you're near. Pittsburgh's near Ontario, because if you go up on Superior or Huron, it's basically the same as the ocean. Those are big, heavy waters.
Yeah.
Does the Great Lakes get waves like that?
Yeah.
Yes.
We took
especially Superior, but even where we're at, Lake Erie can get fairly good sized waves, especially when
we took watercraft up to Erie when I was younger, and they wouldn't let us out of the bay because of the waves that are happening out in the lake.
Yeah, they just take the fun out of everything. They really, really do. So
you die.
Well, and that's the thing. They don't want to spend all that looking for you and everything like that. I get it. Look, I don't go out there by myself.
You know what? What the worst problem is there, because I've been involved with the aerial search and rescue. The problem is like they don't want you to go out there because that means you're going to get in trouble in the crappy weather. Then you're expecting people like us to go out in a helicopter and all the fixed wing aircraft.
No, maybe not though. If you're taking that chance, because I tend to be that it's not the same. What I do is a lot easier, but it's like riding the highway. The speed limit says 70, but if I want to do 85, I do 85. But if I get pulled over, there's nobody to blame but me.
Yeah.
And I kind of see what Daryl's saying. You go out there and there's these things to do, but they don't want you doing it because you might crash and then we have to come out and get you. Yeah. Well, life is 100% fatal, and you got to let people have a little bit of that fun.
But it's not just that. That's not the only thing. The thing about it is, if we don't go out and help you. Even though you're going out the fun, they'll go, well, why didn't you guys stop us?
Well,
it's your job to stop us from doing it.
There are some people that play both sides, but I think most people
Did you not hear what I said, though? I don't go out by myself. We go out with a team of guys who are watching for they're watching for the Coast Guard, even though they have better eyes than us. But The Coast Guard doesn't come unless the property owners on the beach are calling. So,
Yeah.
but
exactly.
if something happens, we're totally prepared for it, and
But you know the risks that are involved. That's fair. That's true.
Right. But again, if you listen to what Daryl was saying, the other thing he's talking about is it's the property owners because they don't want something washing up on their shore.
That's right.
And sometimes it's just these old people like,
that's right.
I'm trying to look at the ocean. There's those people out there ruining my view.
Exactly, Anthony.
It's just stupid shit. And unfortunately,
yeah, exactly.
We had
the Coast Guard,
and it has no political meaning.
It's the property owners that call.
Right.
They call, hey, there's guys out there wave jumping, and you need to come and get them. And it's not a fine; it's an arrest.
Right.
It's and then they take your skis.
What?
Yeah.
But hey, it's the same risk as somebody jumping on a train and taking a ride.
Well,
it's the same risk.
Yeah.
Oh, it's the risk.
We had a problem
your
here.
Speedboat out and racing it. Yeah, it's a risk.
Exactly.
And you never know what you might hit. You never know what's going to happen. Life comes with a set of risk, and
That's right.
There are some things. I mean, I could talk about when we were kids, our playground equipment was built on concrete, and we all survived. Now I'm all in favor of no, don't build it on concrete anymore because I don't want my kid falling on concrete.
Right.
But
you're right.
There's also a point where if I'm 35, 40 years old and I got this boat, my friends and I want to go out here and we're not hurting anybody else. We're gonna wave jump, or we're gonna scuba dive, or we're gonna do something where other people said, no, you shouldn't do it. We see the sign. We know what it's saying. We go. But like Daryl was saying, most of the time, it's not the Coast Guard coming out there and yelling at you and picking on you or harassing you. It's the people sitting there with their cocktails looking at the beach going, they're ruining my view.
It is so true. It is so true.
That's
the Coast Guard could really care less. They got bigger things to take care of, but yeah. Life is a risk. If you just every once in a while, you just got to say what the
Yeah, you see people take risks, but the thing that used to annoy me, the thing that used to annoy me the most when I did it, like you got all these warnings in the world. Like some of you guys seen the storms that I put on live here early in the year. I mean, we had 20, 30, 40 foot waves crashing, and they've been told do not go rock fishing or do not go out in your boats. It's not safe for boats to be out there. Mind you, they've even told the big bulk carriers that usually anchor off the coast here, go out to sea. Don't anchor off, take it, lift anchor and go out to sea because it's going to be rough. And people are going out there with pleasure crafts in rough water. Now, one time we didn't go up and they wanted to sue us. We're not going out searching and go, well, we're not going up in that area, going out looking for it. It's too dangerous.
Why should you risk your life because they want to be idiots? I understand that.
Right. I think we can all understand the flip side too, because there are those people, but we're not talking about where Daryl's going out in a storm and 40-foot waves. It's just a normal day. Things are good. And they're going to go out and do this. And the locals throw a fit about it because it might be a noise thing. I bought this property and I spent $3 million to have this property. And there's those people out there making noise when I want to look at a quiet sunset. But there's also those people that there's a sign here that says, don't do this. And they're like, I don't need that. And we used to call it Darwinism. Now, Darwinism is not the guy who said survival of the fittest. That was a different scientist, but we associate it with Darwin now. But we used to call it, when I was a kid, we called it Darwinism. Let the idiots take themselves out.
Well, exactly.
Don't lick your finger and stick it in a light socket.
Right, exactly.
And there's somebody going to go, why not?
It's the same thing. It's an alligator in the bathtub. Why do you stick your hand in there?
Yeah.
What's going to happen? It's going to bite you.
Right.
So, the thing with jet skiers on the beach, that's what they're going after. They're going after the guys who are riding the waves where surfers are, beachgoers, people swimming. We're totally off grid when we're like, you know, in the cliffs and stuff like that, way away. There's no beach. You really there's no beach. So there's no people, just people who, like what Anthony said, they're enjoying their cocktail, and then you get race jet skis, and you hear this loud 2-stroke motors, you know, and you don't hear one, you hear 6 of them, you know. So yeah.
Ooh, you're in California and have a 2-stroke. Oh
yeah.
Oh boy.
Yeah. No, if you
that's
have a
something right.
2-stroke, you're under kind of like a grandfather. Yes, I have 1 2-stroke. I have one. The rest of them are all 4 strokes.
You're gonna get banished from. You're gonna get banished.
I have a
California
Kawasaki. I have a Kawasaki 2-stroke.
And it's way more fun than the 4 strokes.
Way more fun, and it's what they call X2, and actually it's kind of like a sit down. The handlebars are like kind of like a motorcycle almost.
Yeah,
now that motor has a 650 cc motor in it, and it's got dual downdrafts in it, and that thing's quick. It's super fast. It's scary fast. That's how fast it is.
I've seen that exact ski here in Pittsburgh.
Yeah, scary fast. It's a relic, and every time I take it out, people go, "Would you sell that?" And I said, "No, absolutely not." And I make sure nobody's following me home.
There's a guy down here at the marina, believe it or not, he still has what's known as a wet bike. You probably remember him from Police Academy. The first, they come up out of the water. He has one. I wouldn't want to ride it.
I don't care what anyone does, as long as it's not going to hurt someone else.
Yeah.
Well, like I said, we're not in the waves where the swimmers are, the surfers are. We're way off. We're way off beat. I mean, we're way off. We're in the reeds. That's a bigger problem.
Yeah.
It's going to be your problem.
That's right. It gets stuck in the intakes, and we always have to turn them over, and we have to pull the crap out of the blades. And, you know, it's kind of scary, you know, a little bit, because you don't know what's underneath of you, lurking in the reeds.
Right.
The pot's always on my head.
Yeah, I got these football labels. I got these football labels across the road. I mean, we've got 2 football fields here, and you're not allowed to fly kites. You're not allowed to do remote control planes. You're not allowed to do remote control cars in the car park, and a few other bits and pieces. You know what? People come down there. Kids come down there to play. It's a park, for crying out loud. Go out and have fun. Just don't hurt it. Don't intentionally go out there to hurt someone else.
Or to annoy somebody, right?
You know, I don't care if you're going to fly a remote control plane. I don't care if you're going to fly a kite. Just don't damage the amenities building. You're right.
That was the problem. My remote control airplane shot down other people's kites, so we were banned.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, you also had the machine gun firing at the same time.
Curse you, Red Baron!
Well, that's the reason why I do not own a drone. I would love to have one, but I would get in trouble.
I have one. I've got in trouble already.
Yeah. Okay, Frank. There you go.
And and the bad thing is mine's registered. I don't go above the height limit. People don't like the noise.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's why I don't own one. That's the reason why I do not own a motorcycle here in California. The reason why I would love to have a motorcycle, but I don't own one, because people are not paying attention to the motorcycle drivers. They're not.
I used to ride motorbikes too. I have not ridden a motorbike now in 20 years.
Yeah.
But you got a nice desert out there for off-roading.
Yeah.
Stay safe, Randall.
You know, that's the nice thing about California.
On.
We got all around. We got snow. We got sand. We got surf, and you know, it's an all-around state. So, you know, and I'm an hour away from all of it. I'm an hour away from the snow, and I'm about 45 minutes away from the beach. So,
yeah, but you guys twerking, or is that the ground shaking?
Yeah, but you know what? I'd rather take the ground shaking than what happened in Florida.
Oh, yeah.
Any day of the week.
That's why I'll take here. We don't get any of it, just snow.
Oh, really? Just snow?
Mm-hmm. Even tornadoes don't hit here.
Where are you at?
Toledo. Tornadoes go north of us, they go south of us, but they don't hit Toledo.
We had a tornado.
Yeah, see, I won't. I see. We have drones around here, but I won't get it. I mean, I can get a drone and fly around anyway, but I don't want to do it here because we're right on the edge of the training area for the local airport where the pilots are learning how to fly. Okay, their minimum height, because I'm close to the lake, above the water is 500 feet. Sometimes I stray across, and your drone's at 500 feet.
So here, Artie, the FCC rules are 400 feet on height, and my drone actually has the programming. There's ways to bypass it, but it has a geofence. If I try to fly it toward the hospital where they have a helipad up there, it will not go.
Well, that's a good thing.
Well, that's a good thing, but they don't have it here. But yeah, you got 400 feet. But sometimes your rescue choppers and whatnot goes. But a lot of times, like your rescue chopper will go less than 500 feet.
Yeah.
Especially when
if I had a
it's
drone here, the eagles would eat it.
Oh, mine has got attacked.
We have 5 years ago, bald eagles were hundreds of miles away. We now have a bald eagle in the neighborhood.
Yeah, we have them all over the place here.
We have them all over here, but one in our. I mean, I'm urban, and we have a bald eagle that flies across my backyard a few times a week. If I were to have a drone in the backyard, it'd be.
And I'm not even joking. I have so many stray cats around here.
Oh,
not with them birds around here. They're disappearing at an alarming rate. Them stray cats.
My thing is, I went out in the last 2 springs behind my garage, and had to clean up carcasses of what maybe rabbit. One was maybe a rabbit. One was maybe possum. Another one was, I don't know, cat.
Oh,
because it had been eaten.
And
all that was left was the skin, which had been eroding away for how many months since it got eaten back there. Because I can go a few months without going behind my garage because I only have about that much space, and it looks on my neighbor's backyard. But yeah, we've got turkey vultures, we've got falcons, we've got the eagles. So yeah, because I have a feral cat that lives in my backyard. It actually belongs to my neighbors, but when my neighbors had their second child, the cat decided it didn't like babies, so they put the cat out, and the cat now decides it lives in my yard.
Randall, that's why you don't. If you have a vinyl roof, you keep a sheet of plywood and some bungee cords when you got that stuff going on.
No, we got a metal roof. We just had a metal roof installed on our house.
He's talking about marble side hail hit his vinyl roof.
Yeah, I got terracotta up on mine, and it's still there. I think I've got a water leak in the bathroom. The landlord's come around tomorrow to check it out. I think it's sitting on the light fixture.
Yeah. Well, it's after 11. I should be heading to bed.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to call it pretty. I'm gonna have to call it quits soon too.
Stumbling like he.
But yeah, we.
It's only 8 o'clock here, guys. I don't know what you guys are talking about.
I did have 2 falcons here, the Australian falcons. They used to hang around at the light pole. One went missing, but the last one, I don't know what happened to it because he picked up a snake out in the football field when we had the big, tall grass, and I believe it got bit, and I have not seen it back since. So maybe it got the love bite of death from one of the little snakes that he picked up, because we did have some baby browns lurking around up in the paddock. It's a shame he's gone. Yeah, well, go to bed. It's 5 a.m. You're right, John. I mean, time to get out, isn't it? But it's Sunday morning.
That's crazy, guys. Boy, that's supportership right there, Artie, for you. 4 and 5 in the morning.
He's a champion. It's going to be worth going. He deserves a visit from me for being up 5 o'clock in the morning.
He probably ate Benjamin about 8 p.m.
Yeah, that's right, Nancy. It's 8:07 here too.
Yeah, well, this guy's going to have to pop out and give him a visit too.
Yeah, no, it's late for you guys back there. I get it. I totally get it.
11:07 here.
It's not late. It's early in the morning. So
What time is it for you, Artie? It's like 1 o'clock?
2 o'clock.
2 o'clock in the afternoon.
Yeah.
Sunday.
Sunday. Okay, Mystic. Thanks, buddy. Thanks for coming along. I'm going to have to call it quits too because my.
All right, Mystic.
All right, guys. Good night.
I'm overdue.
Thank you, Frank. Thank you, Anthony.
Anytime, Artie.
Thanks for the laughs, Artie. Oh wait, I was the one making the laughs.
He was the straight man tonight.
Artie's. Well, it's one of the few times Artie can be called a straight man.
Okay.
Vegeman's call. Good night.
I've got to be straight.
The things they do with that Vegemite.
I'm stuck on a pole and I'm stuck on a stick. So,
well, maybe you should have had some Vegemite on it before you started sticking those poles and sticks in places.
I didn't do it. Somebody else stuck me on the stick and stuck me on the pole.
Look, that's between you and your doctor.
At least I was on the back.
If they got there and they put Vegemite on that stick, I'd hate to see what they do with the stick. Oh, Artie, what are they doing to your stick?
I can just think what I can do with this Vegemite now. What was it? Was it in
See you later, George.
What movie was it in? Was it
Hey, Heath don't eat.
I already know what you do with the Vegemite, you pervert.
Was it Police Academy? No, Caddyshack. I remember when someone dropped that Baby Ruth candy in the swimming pool.
Yeah.
Everyone thought it was a turd.
It's okay.
It's all right.
It's all right. No problem.
Yeah. I can do the same thing with this. That's all right.
You want some stripping, Joe?
No, it looks like the old Murphy's salad oil soap. If anybody remembers, nowadays it's liquid, but back in the day, and I'm sure you can still find it, Murphy's oil soap.
Yeah, it was oily, like paste.
But it was thick.
Yeah.
Good night, Randall.
So anyway,
good night, guys.
Get out of the storm, Randall.
Yeah, Randall, stay safe, buddy. Yeah, just look after
Otherwise,
yourself.
We'll see you flying by in a couple hours.
Everybody else. I'll try to.
Toto too. Oh, no.
I'll try to catch up to you guys this week. I'm going to concentrate trying to get more on that layout done this week and a few other things. Excuse me. So hopefully hopefully everyone is going to have a good week and weekend.
Yep.
Have fun. Stay safe. And yeah.
I'm sending the Steelers to California. So, all right. See you later.
Okay, guys. We'll catch up with you later. So, thank you for joining me, and I'll see you guys next week.
Don't forget your Vegemite. Good night, everybody.
No, I've got it
night,
here.
Al.
Okay.
Catch
you later.
Brought to you by Vegemite.
Good night, Anthony.